Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC, the Gold Edition.
여러분 안녕하세요. 김대균입니다. 토익 답이 보인다 시리즈를 여러분이 꾸준히 사랑해 주셔서 감사드립니다. 이번에 토답 골드 에디션을 출간하게 됐습니다. 말 그대로 최선을 다하여 만들었습니다. 여러분 중에 초급이신 분들은 기본 문제만을 푸시면서 처음에는 책의 하단에 나오는 문제들을 생략하여 쭉 전체적인 맥락을 잡아주십시오. 중급 이상은 하나도 남김없이 모든 문제들과 요점들을 정리해 주시길 바랍니다. 우리 책의 특징은 모든 문제들을 전부 녹음해 드렸다라는 것입니다. 문장들과 문제들을 모두 녹음시킨 가운데 리스닝과 리딩 구분 없이 종합적인 실력을 키울 수 있도록 여러분에게 배려해 드렸습니다. 열심히 들어주십시오. 그리고 반복하시는 가운데 토익의 승자가 되시길 빌겠습니다. 토익 답이 보인다 시리즈로 토익을 시작하셔서 토익 답이 보인다 시리즈로 토익을 마무리하시길 빌겠습니다. 여러분의 앞날에 밝은 미래가 있길 빕니다. 감사합니다.
Part 1. One. She's standing in the aisle.
2. Boys and girls are sitting in alternate seats.
3. The crops have yet to be harvested.
4. The chairs are arranged in rows.
5. They are putting the bags into the overhead compartment.
A. She's drinking some tea. B. She's pinning some papers onto the bulletin board. C. She's talking on the telephone. D. She's cleaning up her desk.
A. He's swimming in the river. B. He's putting on some makeup. C. He's looking at a man. D. He's playing the guitar.
A. A man is having his hair cut. B. His cut of profits amounts to 30%. C. He is at the harbor. D. He has a cut on his finger.
A. They are having a meeting. B. There is some meat on the table. C. They are having a party. D. They are standing at the corner.
A. He's turning off the microphone. B. He's taking off his hat. C. He's looking through the microscope. D. He's making a formal presentation.
A. The performance has been canceled. B. The audience is enjoying the music. C. The orchestra members are putting away their instruments. D. The musicians are performing outside.
A. Passengers are leaving the station. B. Train service has stopped for the night. C. People are waiting to board the train. D. The rain forced many people indoors.
Part 1. Vocabulary. 1. Nouns. Beard.
Document.
Microphone.
Notice.
Drawer.
Wire.
Streetcar.
Van.
Pole.
Fence.
Briefcase.
Skyscraper.
Sailboat.
Tugboat.
Patron.
Patio.
Eyeglass.
Folder.
Discussion.
Heater.
Pots.
Tray.
Stove.
Stool.
Walkway.
Roadside.
Pottery.
Telephone directory.
Bulb.
Light bulbs.
Hillside.
Microscope.
Direction.
Lane.
Roadway.
Fabric.
Sewing machine.
Railing.
Instrument.
Construction.
Path.
Bulletin board.
Copier.
Cart.
Colleague.
Barn.
Pasture.
Bush.
Fireplace.
Haircut.
Aisle.
Slope.
Blanket.
Barge.
Blueprint.
Cable.
Crane.
Apron.
mustache,
shore,
shoreline,
dock,
destination,
cyclist,
platform,
edge,
warehouse,
carton,
journal,
intersection,
port,
certificate,
merchandise,
teammate,
award,
portfolio,
booklet,
client,
reception,
pulse,
thermometer,
content,
staircase,
garment,
luggage,
crew,
steering wheel,
performance,
vehicle,
mechanic,
crutch,
freighter,
rainfall,
recital,
bucket,
reflection,
certificate,
appliance,
parcel,
purchase,
goods,
cash register,
shopkeeper,
merchant,
frame,
sunbathing,
lid,
shovel,
pedestrian,
trail,
pile,
brick wall,
greenhouse,
tablecloth,
demonstration,
container,
wristwatch,
ingredient,
aircraft,
receptionist,
vendor,
suitcase,
sale,
track,
attendant,
wheelchair,
council,
conference,
landscape,
pier,
ferry,
injection,
riverbank,
ledge,
choir,
cellular phones,
foil,
chat,
litter,
garbage,
garage,
archway,
spectator,
ornament,
demonstration,
hallway,
prescription,
medication,
conference,
porch,
laundry,
fountain,
auditorium,
banquet,
rooftop,
bunch,
dispenser,
lawn,
cliff,
flower arrangement,
department,
facility,
maid. 2. Adjectives:
stringed,
flat,
separate,
final,
indoor,
postal,
private,
downstairs,
bare,
formal,
public,
light,
spacious,
straw,
identical,
displayed,
decorated,
curved,
certain,
dense,
accessible,
deserted. 3. Others:
completely,
neatly,
toward,
enthusiastically,
alongside,
identically,
formally,
point to,
pile up,
direct,
applaud,
address,
distribute,
seal,
press,
refuel,
occupy,
put,
consult,
leaf through,
lean,
stare,
dictate,
prescribe,
arrange,
involve in,
turn off,
adjust,
accommodate,
pour,
operate,
measure,
position,
load,
rest,
trim,
sip,
stack,
shelve,
peer,
spread,
sew,
gaze,
crash,
inspect,
chop,
assemble,
arrange,
kneel down,
clap,
place,
perform,
dock,
toss,
line up,
gather,
sweep,
remove,
polish,
serve,
improve,
share,
unfold,
hold,
frame,
display,
exchange,
approach,
guide,
order,
spray,
dig,
reserve,
glance,
concentrate, replace,
straighten,
stir,
tow,
rinse,
search,
clip,
weigh,
block,
cover,
lower,
resurface,
vacuum,
dispose,
decorate,
edit,
elevate,
repair,
be filled with,
equip,
drift,
fasten,
fold,
sort,
chase,
scatter,
attend,
row,
reach,
scrub,
construct,
pack,
feed,
refill,
wipe,
shake hands with,
dip,
lead,
prepare,
harvest,
knit,
be crowded with,
mix,
touch,
sharpen,
mow,
compare,
stretch,
defend,
lift,
bend,
shut,
shovel,
wrap,
blow,
overflow,
operate,
receive,
lay,
destroy,
fix,
record,
allow,
complete,
stroll,
consult,
review,
demolish,
browse,
step off,
step out,
admire,
take part in.
accept. Part 1. Phrases. Have beards.
Pointing to a document,
Wearing suits.
checking his watch,
Built in a similar style.
in front of each house,
All painted identically.
piled up on the steps of the houses,
Playing in a concert hall.
dressed formally,
Playing a flute.
has a microphone,
Asking the police officer for help.
just walked past the police officer,
Directing traffic.
has entered a shop,
Standing next to each other.
applauding the speaker,
Giving out notices.
addressing an audience,
Distributing the letters.
filing some envelopes,
Sealing a box.
pressing a label,
Stopped at the gate.
stepped out of the car,
Refueling the car.
not occupied,
Short-sleeved shirts on.
have a disc in his hand,
Putting away the picture.
pick up the tools,
Holding a wire.
get over the wall,
Repairing a hole.
digging in the garden,
Admiring the plants.
consulting a map,
Looking into a bag.
standing room,
Closing the doors.
stepping down,
Running beside.
parking his van,
Leafing through.
leaning against,
Racing on the river.
barge on the river,
Fishing from the sides of the boat.
sitting at,
Staring into.
writing down,
Typing while dictates.
prescribing some medicine,
Washing out.
preparing drinks,
Using laboratory.
served to the patrons,
Umbrellas on the tables.
arranged on the patio,
Seated around the tables.
facing the window,
Wearing eyeglasses.
handing the man a folder,
Involved in a discussion.
checking the man's waist,
Showing the man to his seat.
pushing the chair,
Wheeling her chair.
protecting his face,
Turning of.
hitting the pipes,
Being lifted on.
being carried,
Surrounded with.
filled with,
Closed to.
have many stories,
Getting into a taxi.
replacing a bulb,
Putting some papers.
fixing his computer,
Hanging up the telephone.
doing two things,
Pointing at the board.
standing between,
Sitting around.
writing in,
Growing on.
lying on,
Watering some flowers.
is for sale,
Facing each other.
adjusting the microscope,
Facing a written test.
staring at the photograph,
Caught the ball.
carrying golf bags,
Just hit the ball.
watching the screen,
Going in several directions.
accommodate,
Not allowed in.
a lot of traffic,
Pouring a cup.
giving some clothes,
Operating a sewing machine.
measuring a piece of fabric,
Leaning over the railing.
tied to,
Have been raised.
tied together,
Eating his dinner.
has been prepared,
Have plates in their hand.
waiting to enter the kitchen,
Reading something.
being used,
Putting her bag.
crowded around,
Playing stringed instrument.
clapping to the music,
Packing up their instruments.
explaining something,
Back of the room.
looking at the documents,
Moving the equipment.
walking in the park,
Climbing up the stairs.
brushing leaves,
Holding their hats.
posting a notice,
Positioning the document.
handing out papers,
Closing the lid.
buttoning her coat,
Looking for the mailbox.
holding an envelope,
Loading boxes.
packing his suitcases,
Pushing a cart.
leaving the building,
Standing in.
walking away,
Freed into.
all the same size,
Standing out in a pasture.
feeding grains,
Working at the keyboard.
sitting beside the man,
Watching the woman type.
closing the window,
Laughing at a joke.
singing together,
Listening to a singer.
making a call,
Turning on the light.
setting the blankets,
Hanging clothes.
lead down to,
Many boats on the water.
overlook the water,
Around the houses is flat.
Getting ready to sit.
Drinking from his glass.
Preparing a meal.
Pouring coffee.
Shopping for a new hat.
Trying on clothes.
Paying for clothes.
Holding up a dress.
Directories beside each phone.
In a separate booth.
Phone is being used.
Phones are the same size.
Chin in her hand.
Opening up a book.
Rolling up the blueprints.
Cables are being laid.
Climbing up the pole.
Truck is broken down.
Working on the electrical cables.
Walking through.
Sharing the office space.
Talking to each other.
Equipped with.
Wearing an apron.
Trimming the man's hair.
Having his hair shampooed.
Have his mustache cut.
Covered her head.
Leading a group discussion.
Entering the room.
Exchanging business cards.
Washing her hands.
Taking an examination.
Pointing at an image.
Photographing a patient.
Being tossed.
Landing at.
Drifting out.
Has been opened.
Standing on ladders.
Displayed outside.
Painting a street sign.
Crossing the street.
Closed to traffic.
Trees are growing.
Being painted on.
Helping passengers.
Boarding the bus.
Leaving the station.
Reached its final destination.
Putting the meal on his cart.
Looking at the restaurant's menu.
Studying the menu.
Taking money from a cash register.
Giving his card.
Lifted the microphone.
Gesturing with his hand.
Picked his notes.
Forest is dense.
Stone has been mounted.
Not accessible to vehicles.
Removing his headphones.
Speaking into the microphone.
Picking up a piece of paper.
Sipping a cup of coffee.
Jumping over the fence.
Walking across the bridge.
Running to the water's edge.
Watching something.
Pushing toward the stage.
Being interviewed.
Have pictures taken.
Climbing into.
To leave the plane.
Being loaded into.
Offering the man.
Putting the vegetables.
Waiting to pay.
Carrying the basket.
Removed their jackets.
Gathered together.
Throwing their hats.
Taking part in an indoor game.
All clearly visible.
Being emptied.
Stacked on.
Meeting in.
Checking out.
Turning on the lights.
At the intersection.
Crowded with.
Under construction.
Few windows.
Filling a large pile.
Enjoying the view.
Stopping to chat.
Locking the cabinet.
Repairing the instruments.
Putting away.
Making a recording.
Playing music.
Relaxing outside.
Lost all its leaves.
Digging in.
Neatly folded.
Examining the patient.
Having his hair cut.
About to have a chest x-ray.
Getting up from the chair.
Pulling in their nets.
Standing in the water.
Raising the sails.
Racing to the port.
Towed away.
Stuck in traffic.
Checking the truck's engine.
Getting into the truck.
Sorting out books.
Signing certificates.
Speaking to.
Brought the woman a drink.
Taking an advertisement.
Supporting the camera.
Taking the camera apart.
Peering through the lens.
Train has arrived.
Cross the tracks.
Run underground.
Using a hammer.
Discussing his work.
Hanging up his tools.
Nailing a notice.
Sampling the merchandise.
Trying on.
Showing the woman some shoes.
Looking at the display.
Replacing.
Going for a drive.
Fixing the lights.
Painting the tiles.
Reading newspapers.
Looking at blueprints.
Spread across the table.
Completely blank.
Riding a bicycle.
Stopped in traffic.
Putting on a helmet.
Crossing the road.
Holding something.
Chasing his dog.
Parking his car.
Dog for a walk.
Writing down.
Entering the reception area.
Having her pulse checked.
Shaking the thermometer.
Passing a pot.
Cleaning the dishes.
Having a meal.
Order for dinner.
Moving down.
Many windows.
Plowing his crops.
Many farm vehicles.
Wearing sunglasses.
Shaking hands.
A place to sit.
Having a discussion.
Driving his truck.
Loaded onto a cart.
Scattered outside.
Distributing the contents.
Opening his notebook.
Leaving the room.
Standing to make a point.
Chairs are empty.
Not very crowded.
Swimming in a lake.
Having a race.
Repairing the pool.
Riding the escalator.
Climbing up.
Using the handrail.
People in the hallway.
Been cramped.
Plugging in her cord.
Wired some money.
In separate directions.
Sewing the garment.
Choosing some fabric.
Paying for her purchases.
Trying on clothing.
Gazing down.
Closing the door.
Turning the pages.
Handing out.
Sunbathing.
Fishing.
Waves are crashing.
Reached the shore.
Bread are on display.
Pans stacked.
Cut into slices.
Bread is for sale.
Hurrying to get to.
Waiting in line.
Taking their bags.
Carrying walking sticks.
Clearing away.
Greeting each other.
Enjoying the view.
Making a phone call.
Fastening his seatbelt.
Eating a meal.
Removing his headset.
Reading side by side.
Buying a magazine.
All occupied.
Leaning against the wall.
Chopping up.
Leaving the store.
Wearing a cap.
Fixing the machine.
Serving food.
Scrubbing the steps.
Washing the carpet.
Polishing the handrail.
Pouring water into buckets.
Reflection in the mirror.
Buttoning up.
Filling her car with fuel.
Getting into her car.
Sealing the containers.
Operating a piece of equipment.
Rearranging some furniture.
Unpacking a large box.
Opening his notebook.
Leaving the room.
Chairs are empty.
No parking on the street.
Park is crowded.
Mowing the grass.
Sipping her drink.
Dining with friends.
Folding her napkin.
Riding the escalator.
Climbing up the staircase.
Passing people in the hallway.
Removing their neckties.
Going over the plan.
Going to be late for work.
Leaving the station.
Stop for the light.
Waiting to board the train.
Building a brick wall.
Construction has been completed.
Climbing up a ladder.
Wearing any jewelry.
Different style.
Leaning on the other.
Bicycles have baskets.
Wearing helmet.
Hats in the basket.
Needs to be cleaned up.
On opposite side of the room.
Working on a farm.
Taking a walk for pleasure.
Filling out the form.
Repairing the tractor.
Allowed in this location.
Fishing by a river.
Taking the fish to market.
Waiting for seats.
Close to the public.
All the same shape.
Places to sit in this area.
Working in the laboratory.
Arranging the bottle.
Working near the pharmacy.
Telling the patient a story.
Drinking some water.
Moving through the water.
Ships are docking in the port.
Pointing at.
Appointed to the board of directors.
Bring their checks.
Ordering meal.
Cleaning up.
Teaching a class.
Picking up her backpack.
Receiving an award.
Turning on the microphone.
About to the park.
Landed a short flying.
Has 4 drawers.
Making phone calls.
Arranged near the wall.
Scattered around the room.
To the top of the tree.
Picking up the pieces.
Swinging on the branches.
Raking the leaves.
Crowding the performance.
Taking music lessons.
Crowded with swimmers.
Fishing on the shore.
Too rough for sailing.
Sitting on the sofa.
Handing out their report.
A lot of traffic on the street.
Getting out of the taxi.
Not open to vehicles.
Closing the file drawer.
Standing in the aisle.
Pouring some drink.
Between the two women.
Sitting next to each other.
Passing out the document.
Audience has left the theater.
Taking a break for the show.
Performance going on.
Folding the paper in half.
Buttoning his jacket.
Taken off the airport.
Several airplanes at the terminal.
About to land at the nearby airport.
Accommodate only private plane.
Carrying a stack of plates.
In different lines.
Standing in a line.
Lines on the floor are not straight.
Looking out of the window.
Turning on the light.
Sharpening his pencil.
Destroyed in the storm.
Cleaning the kitchen.
Getting the food ready to be served.
Fixing the stove.
Moving the table outside.
Has been arrayed.
Being recorded.
Has run out of the film.
Looking at the display.
A lot of customers.
On the ground floor.
Looking through the microscope.
Making a speech.
Holding some papers.
Putting the glasses.
Folding a newspaper.
Just reached the station.
Standing in the train.
Edge of the platform.
Close to the pedestrians.
Overflowed its banks.
Cross the river.
Walking beside the river.
Being laid.
Wearing a large hat.
Filling her baskets to close.
Sticking flowers.
Drawing a picture.
Looking at some architectural plans.
Building a brick house.
A few people standing in the train.
Close to the edge of the platform.
Repairing the machine.
Eating dinner in the restaurant.
Drinking some water.
Just reached the station.
Being pushed on the train.
Swimming in the pool.
Are operating.
Looking in here the mountains.
Drawing a picture of a cat.
All wearing sunglasses.
Putting the pictures.
Boarding the plane.
Making phone calls.
Arranged near the wall.
Scattered around the room.
Climbing to the top.
Picking up the pieces of wood.
Raking the leaves off.
Packing up their instruments.
Playing outside.
Ball has thrown.
Checking their watches.
Wearing glasses.
Pushing the tables.
Carrying trays.
Her arms crossed.
Removing some items.
Holding her coat.
Eating the grass.
Feeding the goat.
Baking in the oven.
All been sliced.
Being placed in boxes.
Looking at some photographs.
Drawing some flowers.
Having their picture taken.
Getting film developed.
Filling up their mugs.
Examining the document.
Shaking hands with each other.
Measuring the distance.
Laid out on the counter.
Growing in the wooden area.
Walking on a curved path.
Watering the garden.
Working in the greenhouse.
Packing the dolls.
Picking up the toys.
Crawling on the floor.
Piled on the floor.
Stepped up onto a stool.
Selecting books from the shelves.
Smiling at.
Folding up the clothes.
Wrapping up the package.
Picking up his luggage.
Putting on their helmets.
Moving a load of dirty.
Being tossed.
Landing at the dock.
Drifting out to sea.
Selection from the menu.
Brought the meal.
Talking to.
Riding in a truck.
Stopped on the highway.
Prescribing some medicine.
Washing out.
Preparing drinks.
Using laboratory.
Buttoning up.
Shaking shoulders.
Chatting in.
Wrapping some food.
Cleaning the counter.
Holding a stack.
Sitting down.
Washing their hands.
Covering up the food.
Closing the drawer.
Having some coffee.
Filing the papers.
Building a bridge.
Swimming in the river.
Going under the bridge.
Getting on the boats.
Working on the wires.
Lifting the poles.
Climbing the ropes.
Crossing the street.
Walking in the same direction.
Light is being replaced.
Locking the front door.
Painting some benches.
Arranging the furniture.
Resting on the porch.
Making the pottery.
Drinking tea.
Looking into the baskets.
Hopping in the supermarket.
Eating some fruits.
Pushing a cart.
Taking a picture.
Picking up some apples.
Sitting beside the man.
Watching the woman type.
Closing the window.
Tree in front of each house.
Piled up on the steps.
Cutting the bushes.
Feeding the birds.
Brushing off his hat.
Sweeping the paths.
Holding onto the handrail.
Resting on the hillside.
Going down the step.
Tying up shoes.
Getting ready to sit down.
Preparing the meal.
Pouring coffee for the others.
Instrument is in his case.
Performing outside.
Traffic broken down.
Working on the electrical cables.
Sharing the bench.
Full of flowers.
Parked on the road.
Playing card.
Standing room only in the streetcar.
Closing the doors of the streetcar.
Stepping down.
Running beside the streetcar.
Runs beside the river.
Take a break.
Lost their leaves.
Have all been taken.
Applauding the speaker.
Turned off.
Tied up off the shore.
Wrapping up the food.
Helping themselves.
Throwing away.
Calling from a public phone.
Booths are on a street corner.
Being repaired.
Looking at a telephone directory.
Standing to speak.
Flower arrangement.
Displayed on.
Carrying bags.
Waiting for the traffic to stop.
Crossing the road.
Dressed for cold weather.
Blowing up some balloons.
Hanging a poster.
Watching a slide presentation.
Wearing suits and ties.
Piling the wood.
Heavy machinery.
Birds flying overhead.
People swimming in the lake.
Birds sitting on the shore.
Making newspaper delivery.
Walking with a friend.
Stacked on top of each other.
Leaning against the fence.
Playing on the stage.
Leading the group.
Waiting to be seated.
Flying in an airplane.
Getting off the ride.
Going around in a circle.
Putting chain on the wheels.
Playing a game outdoors.
Having a picnic lunch.
Moving the benches.
Watching a ball game.
Parked in a field.
Planted in rows.
Walking through the forest.
Harvesting the fruit.
Applauding the athletes.
Runners are gathering.
Exercising on an indoor track.
Running with her teammates.
Opening a backpack.
Bending over.
Driving his truck down the street.
Loaded onto a cart.
Boxes are scattered.
Distributing the contents.
Putting some files.
Assembling a piece of furniture.
Moving a desk through the doorway.
Patient is standing a space.
Assistants cleaning the equipment.
Plants are growing in rows.
Vegetables are being harvested.
Buying a camera.
Drawing a picture.
Gathering flowers.
Hurrying out of the rain.
Putting down the bags.
Waiting to board the train.
Running onto the platform.
Fixing the roof.
Painting the house.
Filing the letter.
Changing the tires.
Learning in the notebook.
Organizing the closet.
Shutting the file drawer.
Sorting through some papers.
Getting out of the vehicle.
Door has been left open.
Shoveling snow off the street.
Examining a product.
Pushing a cart.
Paying her purchases.
Picking up the basket.
Taking off his helmet.
Pulling down.
Working at a building.
Cooking the food.
Wrapping up the package.
Picking up his luggage.
Carrying their hats in her hands.
Holding the drumsticks.
Defending goal.
Dancing to the band music.
Pressing a button.
Lifting a car.
Writing a note.
Reading newspapers.
Looking at blueprints.
Spread across the table.
Sunbathing on the beach.
Trees along the shoreline.
Taking a photograph.
Putting a painting.
Hanging a picture on the wall.
Drawing plan the building.
Sitting down to have a meal.
Taking an order for dinner.
Working near the wires.
Playing a musical instrument.
Performing a concert hall.
Waving at friends.
Speaking at a record hall.
Fuels being pumped.
Taking a break on the stair.
Put her book down.
Examine the car door.
Bread our display.
Cut into slices.
Sail outside the bakery.
Looking through some papers.
Sitting on the benches.
Paper on the front desk.
Crossing the street.
Looking through a
Part 2. When? 1. Sometime this afternoon.
2. In 3 months.
3. By late this afternoon.
4. When prices go down.
5. Almost a month ago.
6. I could have them delivered immediately.
7. By the end of the month, I think.
8. At noon today.
9. Not until the end of November.
10. Nearly a year ago.
11. 6 months from now.
12. In about 30 minutes.
13. I'll check the timetable. What? 1. You must have the supervisor's recommendation.
2. It turns out there was a computer error.
3. A minimum of 5%.
4. It's for high-valued items.
5. You just drove through a red light.
6. The secretary borrowed it while you were away.
7. I haven't heard yet.
8. He's tall and has a mustache.
9. It'll be cold, I'm afraid.
10. The fish is excellent.
11. Sandwiches and iced tea.
12. Give them to me, please.
13. She works in a coffee shop.
14. There's a 30% penalty.
Why? 1. There was a mechanical problem.
2. He was promoted.
3. Okay, but you'll have to show me how.
4. It was too far from the shipping depot.
5. We moved to another city.
6. I don't think people will see it there.
7. The shipping office made an error.
8. It was too costly.
9. Okay, I'll contact you on Monday.
10. It hadn't been paid for.
11. I'd like to see some data on that.
12. I'll be away that day.
13. The workers have been on strike.
14. They're doing some repairs.
15. The performer is not here yet.
16. They have been on strike.
17. It might affect his promotion.
How? 1. Around 1,000 square meters.
2. At 2:15 this afternoon.
3. She prefers to make her own arrangements.
4. That's a good idea.
5. 10%.
6. It makes much better coffee than the last one.
7. Well, the speeches were pretty short.
8. Pretty well, I thought.
9. About 4 more weeks.
10. By next week at the latest.
11. We brought in 6 new people.
12. 30 cents each.
13. It should arrive in 3 days. What product do they make here?
A. Yes, I'll make it immediately. B. Plastic bottles, I think. C. No, the product is very popular. Who has the key to the supply room?
A. No, I need more space in my office. B. Yes, my room has 2 keys. C. I thought you used it last. Who do I talk to about shipping this order?
A. Mr. Kim can help you. B. Orders are due on Monday. C. No, the ship is in the harbor. How do you make new business contacts?
A. I'll meet you at the convention. B. Through my relatives. C. Please return signed contracts. How am I to quote the figures for year-to-date sales?
A. Yes, that must be included in the figures. B. Just put in the % increase over last year. C. No, I haven't read the report yet. Where will the conference be held?
A. That hasn't been decided yet. B. We all hold stock in the company. C. Probably next week. The mechanic has replaced the broken switch, hasn't he?
A. No, he's replaced. B. He hasn't had the time. C. Yes, I can fix it. Where can Mr. Carmack get the replacement filters?
A. Because the old one is dirty. B. The shop on the corner sells them. C. He replaced his old car with a new one. Should we give them some background on our company?
A. No, it's in the front. B. The groundbreaking ceremony is next week. C. Yes, that's a good idea. Isn't it difficult to find a parking space in the downtown area?
A. Yes, it's in a fast pace. B. Yes, especially Monday through Friday. C. No, he isn't interested in space. The maintenance project has already been scheduled, hasn't it?
A. No, I don't have a projector. B. The main switch is the red one. C. No, it still needs Mr. Jung's approval. Do you think we should call Mr. Kim, or would it be better to write him?
A. It would be better to contact Mr. Kim. B. Yes, that's what he's called. C. We should write him a letter today. Should we postpone tomorrow's meeting or cancel?
A. You can mail it tomorrow. B. Let's change it to Thursday. C. No, it hasn't been canceled. Could you help me move this file cabinet, or are you on your way out?
A. Sure, I'm not ready to leave yet. B. Miss Gomez has the file. C. No, I didn't take a cab this morning. Are you going to fax that document or just bring it over?
A. Yes, I've just brought it. B. I'll fax it in a few minutes. C. No, with the document. How many new employees has the company hired?
A. Yes, they've been around here twice. B. From the travel agency. C. About a dozen. When will Mr. Park return from his holiday?
A. No, he can't return those purchases. B. Once a month in France. C. At the end of next weekend. When can we meet to discuss the banking report?
A. This afternoon is good for me. B. The bank's not open then. C. To the picnic area. When are you leaving for vacation?
A. On Monday. B. With my girlfriend. C. 2 days ago.
Aren't we going to report this year's sales figures?
A. I don't think they've been sold yet. B. It shouldn't be made public. C. Yes, that is a real bargain.
Why did the company lay off so many employees?
A. Because he was tired. B. There wasn't enough business. C. No, it is in the on position. Why was the flight rescheduled?
A. There was a mechanical problem. B. Be ready to fly at noon. C. We'll board in 30 minutes. Why don't we go over our notes for the meeting over lunch?
A. I'll have soup and salad. B. Because I went over there already. C. That makes a lot of sense. Why don't we skip the afternoon session and leave early?
A. Because I was in a hurry. B. Okay, tell me when you are ready. C. No, we didn't. Why don't you have a seat?
A. Thank you, I will. B. You're welcome. C. No, I don't. Did you know that all employees will receive a bonus this coming Thursday?
A. No, I didn't receive any today. B. Yes, he's an employee. C. No, I hadn't heard that news. The equipment you ordered will be delivered today, won't it?
A. It already came in this morning. B. Yes, you are. C. Yes, I have 2 of them. Did you submit the proposal by the due date?
A. No, but it was accepted anyway. B. No, I had a new date. C. Yes, I can meet you at 8 p.m. Miss Park will be back on Friday, won't she?
A. Yes, we've done the back. B. No, she didn't. C. Yes, she gets in around lunchtime. You are from France, aren't you?
A. No, I'm from Belgium. B. Yes, I will. C. I didn't know that. Do you have time to grab a bite to eat before you leave?
A. No, I haven't eaten there before. B. Yes, I got this watch for my birthday. C. No, I'm in a hurry. How can I get more letter-headed envelopes?
A. Yes, the mail is picked up 3 times a day. B. Contact Ms. Chan in the supply room. C. No, he isn't head of the department. Who is your present employer?
A. The gift came from my sister. B. Your employee benefits are included. C. I work for Korea Bank. Isn't it unusual for the parking lot to be full this early?
A. Yes, I'm having trouble finding a space myself. B. Yes, I'll try to fill it before I leave. C. No, about a quarter of a mile down this road. Don't you think we should put more resources into marketing?
A. Yes, that would be wise. B. Yes, the food market closes at 8 o'clock. C. No, I put it over there. Whom do we call about special admission to the concert?
A. It starts just after the dinner. B. The receptionist should know. C. They didn't admit a thing. Where is my new copy of the new annual report?
A. I returned it to you this morning. B. For up-to-date financial information. C. Yes, once a year. Whom did Mrs. Yun decide to hire to fill the position?
A. A young intern from the marketing department was chosen. B. Mrs. Yun met with us after all. C. She wanted a position with more benefits. Part 3.
Warren Beatty will not be able to attend the meeting next week in Frankfurt, so I'd like you to represent the firm. Would you be able to do it?
Yes, Miss Olga. I'd really like to go to that meeting. What about travel arrangements?
That's all been taken care of. See Susan. You leave Sunday evening. And thanks.
What do you think is the best way for us to get to the conference?
Well, it's too close to bother flying. We could drive there, but I think if we took the train, we could get some work done on the way.
Yes, that's the best plan. I'll pick up tickets at the station on my way home from work.
How much does it cost to register for the race this Sunday?
$20 if you register in advance, but $30 if you wait until the day of the race.
I guess I'd better sign up now then.
I'll be on a business trip to Chicago for several days and need some brochures printed up. Can you do it?
Yes, we can print brochures in 10 hours.
Good. Here's what I would like it to look like. What are you doing? Did you finish your assignment?
No, I've been playing computer games.
Well, no more games until you've done everything you should do.
I have to apologize. I seem to have misplaced that book you lent me.
Oh, how could you? That was the first edition and very valuable.
I don't know how it happened, really. I may have left it in the library. I'll check it later and let you know.
Oh my God, I just missed the last train.
Don't worry, I can give you a ride if you like.
Thank you, but my home is very far away, and I don't want to give you trouble.
Part 4. For those of you interested in computers, remember to listen to Radio Online, where you can call in with your questions about programming and computers. It's hosted by Tom Green, a local engineer, and Maria Callas, a programming expert. Radio Online airs on Monday and Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m., right here on KUBS 1900 on your dial.
On behalf of the Board of Directors and the senior staff of Sun City Bank, I would like to welcome you to the 10th Annual Company Picnic at Franklin Lake. Before you go down to the lakefront for the Division Sports Competition, I have a few important announcements to make. Lunch will begin at 1 p.m. It'll be served next to the barbecue pit. Please have your tickets ready before you get in line. Also, a raffle will be held at 4 p.m. Following the raffle, we will announce the name of the Employee of the Year. We hope you have fun today.
Part 5. The company has discontinued manufacturing that item.
The dignitaries from the foreign ministries dined with the president.
If we do not receive your written confirmation soon, we may have to offer the faculty position to someone else.
1. Guests should leave their valuables in the hotel safe.
2. We have 7 qualified applicants for the position of secretary.
3. The prosecution is pursuing a legal action against a company for polluting the Han River.
4. We wear formal attire when we attend the opera.
5. Our government has laws against monopolies in many industries.
6. Transactions of shares on the stock exchange were up today.
7. They should submit the documents in duplicate.
8. We must proceed with caution.
9. Her doctor wrote a prescription for blood pressure medicine.
The annual report for Tyler Industries was sent to all probable investors at the end of last month.
1. I am meeting a prospective buyer for the house today.
2. The visitors were appreciative of all the kindness they'd received.
3. Applicable sales tax must be added to all orders.
4. The movie was bad. It was the worst one I've ever seen.
5. The law makes it mandatory for students to go to school until they reach the age of 16.
1. She has already made a decision to go to Spain.
2. The company benefited from selling a new line of product.
3. We go to Europe every 3 years.
4. Mothers under 16 were entitled to a maternity grant of $100 a week.
5. In comparison with the States, the UK is tiny.
1. I donated blood when Red Cross held a blood drive.
2. The tourist office sent us a guide who facilitated our travel through Peru.
3. The bank branch will open once inspectors have verified that we have complied with all safety codes.
4. Your first evaluation will be 6 months after you commence employment.
1. Please have your seatbelt fastened.
2. Children under 14 must be accompanied by an adult.
3. The whale is an endangered species. 4. Don't read that letter. It is intended for my boyfriend.
1. The wedding anniversary will be on May 31st.
2. It is a large international organization with offices throughout the world.
3. I can take my vacation at any time except in August.
4. She went to Spain despite the fact that the doctor had told her to rest.
1. Drugs like crack are readily available.
2. The islands, which are northwest of Australia, are collectively known as Malaysia.
Repeated tardiness will result in a warning from the management.
3. Classes at the college have become increasingly full over the past 5 years.
1. Although she joined the company only a year ago, she's already been promoted twice.
2. He is so strong that he can bend a metal pipe.
3. Either we vacation this month or not at all.
1. The festival began last night.
Although Sally was happy with her work environment at Foster's Lumbers, she felt that working for a larger company would be more challenging.
2. He has been ill for 3 years.
1. Jobs used to be obtained more easily in the past than they are now.
2. Farmers do a lot of the farm work themselves.
Part 6. Neither the boss nor his employers expect the project to be completed by tomorrow.
Those who want a search request for lost luggage should go to the Lost and Found.
The prospective homebuyers noted that they would like to have some brochures about the houses.
He is interested in travel, so he visits a different country every year.
They thanked him for his help, adding that they were very pleased with the result.
The design team will discuss the problem with the production staff this weekend.
My friend got married to a girl he met in Italy.
Under the contract, the writers are entitled to health insurance as well as vacation.
He will take a vacation next week, during which he will go to Europe.
I would prefer meat to cabbage, so let's go to Sizzler.
1. The personnel department is responsible for finalizing any hiring of new employees.
2. We suggest that you buy now before the next rise in real estate prices.
The violinist gave an excellent performance. Everyone applauded loudly.
I will take advantage of my business trip to Paris to see the beautiful sights.
The actor enjoyed the adulation of his audience.
It is necessary that you attend the meeting today at 3 p.m.
You must complete all of the tax forms provided in the brochure and submit them by tomorrow.
Because it snowed heavily, the tournament has been postponed.
Most of the houses in the capital don't have piped water. Part 7. Memo. Date, December 4th, 2001. Friday. Time, 1 p.m. To Mr. Yamasaki, Sony Consulting. From Ms. Kim, at Kim & Johnson Company. Telephoned, returned your call. Please call. We'll call again. Message.
I just got back from a business trip to Hong Kong and I'm suffering from jet lag. To make matters worse, I came down with the current flu epidemic. So I am afraid I can't meet you on December 6th. I know it's urgent to see you in Tokyo. I will try to reschedule my flight and meet with you as soon as possible. I'll have no trouble getting a seat. I'm sorry to break our appointment. I apologize for the inconvenience this will cause you and your company.
Taken by Mrs. Park.
1. Why can't Miss Kim meet with Mr. Yamasaki at the time they originally intended?
A. She should go to Hong Kong. B. She has trouble getting a seat. C. She's not feeling well. D. Because of the flu epidemic in Tokyo. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 1. This store carries much of the sports equipment.
We were surprised that the small room was crammed with furniture.
One. If our budget will allow it, I recommend that we purchase new office furniture for the accounting department.
2. Passengers who have come to claim their lost luggage must bring their claim tickets with them. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 2. George, together with his friends, is buying a Rolls-Royce.
The contents were carefully designed to portray the rich history of arts and demonstrate their contribution to their popular culture.
The local electric company is lowering rates in response to consumer reaction.
Either Monday or Friday is okay. Neither my sister nor the neighbors are looking after the baby.
The President's request to revise the acts has caused considerable problems for the Ministry of Defense.
The number of chief executive officers attending the meeting does not meet our expectations.
Neither the publisher nor the editors expect the book to be such a success.
One. The standard dose of 2 aspirin tablets has been suggested by doctors for the past 100 years.
2. According to the company's safety regulations, the wearing of helmets and goggles is required of all workers on the factory floor.
3. Fees for the conference include all meals, lodging, and transportation.
4. The prices of goods have risen by more than 20% since the recession began late last year.
5. Every entrepreneur needs to review his or her long-term plan on a regular basis.
6. The consultant for the 3 companies is planning to visit the site of the new construction project.
7. The location of the new city park approved by the mayor has not yet been announced to the media.
8. Mr. Smith has worked for 20 years in the company's accounting department and plans to retire in 3 months.
9. All of the suggestions made by the agency concerning the national park have been implemented by the National Wildlife Department.
10. The overall result of the redesigned packaging and the new television commercials, which have been running since June, is likely to be increased sales.
11. Companies whose business relies on intellectual property are more aware of the laws concerning the Internet than those that manufacture tangible goods.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 3. The day will be cloudy with a slight chance of some rain later tonight.
Everyone who applies for the job should submit the application form by tomorrow.
The teacher, together with his colleague and several relatives, is traveling to the Olympic Games.
One. In preparation for the safety inspection next week, employees should make a list of all the areas in the factory that need attention.
2. The companies that are managed by the conglomerate are diverse in size and production.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 4. Han Kol, a rich tycoon, married his secretary 2 years ago.
1. The directors who are in charge of the construction project will meet tomorrow to discuss the schedule.
2. Had we known about the steering wheel, we would have notified customers immediately about the problem.
The chief executive officer discussed the problem with other employees.
We regret the errors that appeared in the account book and have corrected them.
3. Join us for a special holiday dinner at the Star Hotel, where guests will be able to enjoy a performance by international musicians.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 5. Money from her uncle enabled Jane to buy a laptop.
Good public transport encourages people to leave their cars at home.
Can you just give me a couple more moments to prepare students for the English examination?
The introduction of the new computer network should enable people to work more efficiently. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 6. There were 1,000,000 images from the film on his mind, both real and imagined.
John and Catherine raced backwards and forwards between the camp and the well.
His suit was so new that there were creases in the trousers.
Things got so hectic at our office that we postponed the convention until the end of next month.
He was running such a high temperature that we had to call the doctor in the middle of the night.
She works with such enthusiasm that she is sure to succeed.
Either she's missed the train and is waiting for the next one, or she's decided to stay the night there.
Either the school or the parents should determine the program by this weekend.
Neither the employee nor his immediate supervisor expects the project to be completed by next week. No sooner had he seen me than he ran away.
One, men are required to wear either a suit or tuxedo to the banquet for Mr. Harris.
2. Customers may speak to someone at the service desk by calling between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. daily.
3. I'm afraid that neither Miss Kersey nor I will be able to attend the conference in June.
4. Neither Ms. Ramsey nor her assistant will be able to attend the seminar this weekend.
5. No sooner had Mr. Smith left for the airport than the phone rang.
6. Because of her outstanding work on the project, Miss Fields will receive both a pay raise and a special bonus.
7. The new polymer material is effective at both lowering production costs and increasing the durability of the product.
8. Listening to our educational tapes in your car will help you improve yourself while you travel between home and work.
9. Group tours of the museum's sculpture garden are given every 2 hours, starting from both the east and the west entrance.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 7. Although she is exhausted, she insisted on coming with us.
Please be aware that it is dangerous.
He wasn't aware that his son was having difficulty at school.
That it took only 2 days to go to the island is amazing.
One. Most people found the concert very entertaining, although ticket prices were considered too high.
2. To remain competitive, a company like Sal Industries must be aware of what their competitors are planning for the near future.
3. Although Ms. Weiss did not write the pamphlet, she was responsible for editing the content and overseeing the layout.
4. We remind you that the policy regarding visitors to the plant will change next month.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 8.
You should take this medicine every 3 hours.
The bus leaves every hour on the hour.
70 years ago, half the Korean population still lived in this area of the city.
You should submit the report before the end of this month.
One. The testing of the new vehicle will go ahead as planned, despite the changes in the design.
2. Every grocery store in the Chicago area must undergo strict health inspections twice a year.
3. The staff meeting will be held every Monday at 8 a.m.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 9. I feel sorry for an only child because he has no chance to share experiences with brothers and sisters.
At first, the old man seemed unwilling to accept anything that was offered him by my father and me.
Mr. Kim and Mr. Park built themselves a house on the edge of the village.
In order to ask her a question, you have to first raise your right hand.
One. People who attended the downtown rally were asked to volunteer their time during the weekends.
2. The guests were surprised to hear that Dr. Stanton had organized the retirement dinner himself.
3. The firm will announce the appointment of Mr. Jenkins to its board of directors today.
4. Please give me your written suggestions for future policy changes at your earliest convenience.
5. Miss Fontel introduced the new receptionist who was standing next to her.
6. The tour of the factory was very nice, with the director himself welcoming our group.
7. My staff and I wish to extend our thanks to you for choosing our product.
8. Please call the following toll-free number should you have any questions regarding the assembly of this product.
9. Through careful advertising, a company can make its products distinguishable from those of another company.
10. Starting in January, the Financial Tribune will offer a new electronic edition of the newspaper for their subscribers.
11. While I haven't yet read the consultant's report myself, I have heard that several suggestions have already been implemented.
12. The birthday dinner for Mr. Tang was planned around his schedule.
13. As there are only a few candidates who were qualified for the position, Mr. Delacroix and Mr. Gauguin should be able to interview the entire group by themselves.
14. The proposed changes seemed a bit vague, but they should become clearer in the coming weeks.
15. With new advances in Internet technology, it is easy for employees to use their personal computers to work from home. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 10.
We've been good friends ever since we met at school.
It will be necessary for us to review your contract at the end of each year.
The faculty meeting begins every night at 8 p.m.
One. To succeed in the accessory business, it is necessary to be aware of changing trends.
2. Mr. Donaldson has been with the company longer than anyone else in his position.
3. The company's production should double by the end of June if the new factories are completed and operating by the beginning of March. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 11.
The number of members at this golf club has tripled from the beginning of this year.
Children were evacuated to the country during the Civil War.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 12. You should carefully read the fine print of the contract.
We are now beginning our descent into the Chicago area. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened.
The books will be shipped to Japan today, but the travel time takes 1 week.
We had to abandon the car and walk the rest of the day. One. This memo should clarify what Mr. Wallace said at yesterday's meeting.
2. The intense competition between companies will eventually drive down prices of goods and also result in better customer service.
3. A reference letter from your previous employer may be required by the Personnel Department.
4. With advance notice, the Western Light Hotel facilities, which include a large dining hall, can easily accommodate your group. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 13.
We are looking forward to seeing the movie.
The earthquake happened last night.
Thanks to the newly invented vaccine, the liver disease has now disappeared.
We must find out exactly what happened last night at the club. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 14.
I would prefer meat to cabbage.
I'd like to change the format of the meetings a little.
The late arrival of the principal caused them to change the previously announced schedule.
They would like to build a permanent sports complex in Sangam-dong.
Despite the poor economy, the company continues to expand its production capacity.
As an engineer, Mr. Song works to design the computer systems for this company.
The revised procedures are in the manual now, being distributed to all employees.
One, due to an unexpected promotion, there is now an opportunity for a highly motivated and ambitious employee to become an assistant manager of the accounting department.
2. All employees must sign up for the mandatory training session on the revised safety procedures this afternoon.
3. The management decided to give bonuses to the members of the team for the exceptional job they did on the project.
4. The results of the recent poll will be helpful in figuring out our future campaign strategy.
5. Mr. Sturges went over the two contracts very carefully, but he did not find any differences between them.
6. The angry customer went and filed a complaint with the manager despite the fact that it was an innocent mistake.
7. Mr. Thomas has submitted a proposal to the museum board to build a permanent sculpture garden.
8. After all of the interest shown in Ms. Greedall's original report on environmental safety, many are now finding her results to be inaccurate. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 15.
You sound interesting.
I didn't enjoy the party. It was boring.
Jimmy told us an amusing story.
You sound interested.
I went to the party, but I felt bored the whole time.
I couldn't help being amused by his holiday stories.
This charming restaurant should definitely be on your itinerary if you're looking for good food and a relaxing atmosphere.
Not too many years ago, it was an exciting experience to travel 30 or 50 miles from home.
Snow was swept into drifts by the wind.
The boss said this afternoon that a new high-speed copy machine will be installed by next week.
One, if there are areas in your office where you'd like network connection to be installed, contact the systems manager by this afternoon.
2. The president of the company was disappointed that sales were so low despite the elaborate marketing campaign for the product.
3. The technical problems regarding the newly purchased computer equipment took our engineers a few hours to solve.
4. Improvement in the overall financial situation is impossible unless there is a change in the way the company and its subsidiaries are managed.
5. New employees will not be assigned to departments until they finish their required training sessions.
6. Economics Today is a magazine distributed monthly by the Association of International Economists.
7. The new policy specifically states that no employee will be required to work more than 45 hours a week.
8. The refund will be deposited electronically into your bank account as soon as we receive a copy of your receipt.
9. New employees should have patience and not become too disappointed if they do not show progress in the beginning.
10. The receipt should show the total amount paid to the company for its services.
11. Audio systems bought at Handy Sounds will be serviced free of charge for 1 year after purchase.
12. The fossils collected by paleontologists are fragile and must be preserved with great care so that they can be accurately studied.
13. The entire auditorium found Mr. Rosenkranz's presentation on African wildlife to be fascinating.
14. The directions to the company picnic will be posted in the employee lounge.
15. Please be advised that the network server will be unavailable throughout the office tomorrow afternoon.
16. After reaching the recycling center, the bottles are washed and then crushed before being melted.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 16. Jennifer had her own reasons to be pleased with the timing of the trip.
The boss is satisfied with his decision because it will create a comfortable and productive situation in the office.
Parents don't want their children to get involved in drugs.
One. The position requires someone who is interested in working with children.
2. All the relevant information in this manual will be condensed into a few pages.
3. Mr. Fisher has become very involved in a project to build permanent housing for the homeless.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 17. You should submit the application form by April.
May I stay here until tomorrow?
Library books must be returned by Saturday at the latest.
His interest in English literature continued until the end of his life.
As all employees will receive 20 days of vacation this year, they should notify the Personnel Department of their preferences by February 2nd.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 18. Lions can spot their prey from a great distance and attack swiftly, quietly, and accurately.
The speaker introduced himself, told several interesting anecdotes, and finished with an emotional plea.
1. Peerless Agency has made its reputation by developing advertising campaigns that are inventive and original.
2. With readers from all over the world, Timeless Magazine has built its reputation by publishing articles that are both informative and interesting.
There are papers to file, reports to type, and letters to be answered immediately.
Mothers in the village labor for their family by collecting food, caring for the young, and cleaning the house.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 19. She shows constant concern about how her mother is feeling.
We've received an urgent request for more money.
Her books are in great demand at the moment.
Jet airplanes travel at a great rate of speed.
She acted in defiance of my order.
In comparison with Seoul, Osaka is tiny.
She is in charge of the new project.
10 people had been killed, and it was obvious that the situation had gotten beyond the control of the authorities.
With the exception of Tom, everyone passed the exam.
Upon request.
There will be a demand for a 10% pay increase.
They made an urgent request for international aid.
If you cash in the investment early, then you have to pay tax on that.
There is a growing concern about the effects of pollution on health.
There has been a decrease in the annual birth rate for the last 20 years.
The incident raised further questions about the effectiveness of airport security.
One. There is a 50% sale on all items.
2. Requests for people with mechanical engineering degrees are expected to double within the next 3 years.
3. With a few exceptions, most entrepreneurs will find the first few years of business to be difficult.
4. All requests for software upgrades must be made in writing to the manager.
5. Refrigerator sales have doubled in comparison with the same period last year.
6. Dr. Messier, a professor of sociology, is also a columnist for the weekly Politics Now and an advocate for women's rights.
7. I was wondering if you could answer some of my questions regarding my future position with your company.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 20.
Recently, he invented a new machine.
Guns in America are readily available.
You are cordially invited to our cocktail party.
This store is temporarily closed for renovation.
One. Cash machines that accept credit cards can easily be found in downtown areas of most major cities.
2. The company may not feel an urgency in replacing the current security system, but it will eventually have to be modernized.
3. The manager sent a memo to her staff members requesting that all electronic inquiries be answered promptly.
4. Managers must react calmly to any problem or delay that might occur while working on a project.
5. Reginald Motors voluntarily recalled last year's vehicles due to a problem with the axle.
6. When talking to a customer on the phone, sales representatives must always speak clearly.
7. This matter is very important and should be handled promptly.
8. The company's recently issued handbook gave detailed descriptions of every policy concerning employees.
9. The new portable computers are exclusively distributed by our company.
10. There are normally at least 5 employees who will review an accounting report before it is submitted to the president.
11. You are cordially invited to attend a retirement banquet for Steve Spurrier this Thursday evening at the Ritz Hotel.
12. Send us the details of the item you are looking for, and we will send you a list of companies that offer products most closely matching your specifications.
13. Children under the age of 9 are allowed on the ride only if accompanied by an adult.
14. Subscribers to our long-distance service can save up to 25% on calls made to frequently dialed numbers.
15. After several delays and last-minute revisions, the new logo was finally ready to be unveiled.
16. Compared with other primates, the orangutan's skull is distinctively shaped.
17. Instead of entering the product information individually, you can receive a copy of the information from the Internet instantly.
18. Our new office building is still under construction, so we will have to find somewhere else to hold the meeting.
19. The company's overall budget was reduced substantially, so department directors will have to reevaluate some of their projects.
20. The president of the company personally welcomed all the visitors from Europe.
21. After you finish filling out the information, simply tear the form along the lines.
22. The meeting ended with all parties completely agreeing on the need to reorganize production.
23. The new changes to the machinery should make the assembly line operate more efficiently.
24. We kindly ask that you switch off your mobile phone before you enter the theater, so as not to disturb other audience members.
25. Successfully predicting trends has been particularly important to our success.
26. Keep this container tightly sealed and store it in a dark place.
27. In order to get a steady picture, the video camera should be placed securely on a tripod.
28. Ms. Reisner, who participated in the conference, was told to give a detailed report directly to the president.
29. The director complimented his staff for handling the client's complaints appropriately.
30. Each part is packaged separately in order to minimize the possibility of damage during delivery.
31. By adhering to strict standards, our company consistently produces quality electronic products.
32. Ms. Ramirez promptly informed her manager about the mistake in the invoice and printed out a corrected copy for the client.
33. The reputation of the Saskatoon Tribune is based primarily on a commitment to accuracy.
34. The consultant argued persuasively that the new computer network could make the company more efficient.
35. Over 30% of 300 manufacturers surveyed in Asia answered that they plan on operating internationally within the next 5 years.
36. As I have made a previous commitment, I must respectfully decline your offer.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 21. The Earth's population has nearly doubled since the Second World War.
John has been the manager for sales promotion for 7 years.
In this company, reimbursement for travel expenses is usually made by the manager.
The project, which began 7 years ago, is scheduled for completion at the end of this month.
Dr. Lee will have served for 14 years by the time he retires.
One. The weekly department meeting is usually held on Monday morning.
2. The professor expects final reports to be handed in by no later than next week.
3. Since last week, the workers have painted the walls of Carson City's 2 public high schools.
4. Mr. Paul Thesmond will have served for 20 years as chairman of the faculty board by the time he retires.
5. For decades, one company has had a virtual monopoly on the stereo market, but things have drastically changed in the past few months. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 22.
If the dealer had had the latest model of the car, I most certainly would have bought it.
If he had told me about her secrets, I wouldn't have married her.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 23. He is the best student in his class.
I washed that old tablecloth, and it looks as good as new.
He makes more phone calls in one day than anyone else I know.
June 21st is the longest day of this year.
The movie was bad. It was the worst one I've ever seen.
He makes things even better than they were.
Prior to becoming a lawyer, he worked as a librarian.
Of the 2 applicants, Mr. Smith is the better qualified to work on the project.
One. The recent changes in the corporate structure of Preston will give even greater power to the managers.
2. For more complete information, including ticket prices, discount rates, and summaries of performances, visit our new website at the address listed below.
3. Our overnight delivery service is far quicker than that of our competitors.
4. Ratex found that it is much harder to sell their products in Europe than it is to sell them in Asia.
5. Parmel's newest microchip is the most efficient product the company has ever produced. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 24.
When you want to invest in antique furniture, you must act with caution.
He is very wealthy in comparison with most people.
Because the equipment is very delicate, it must be handled with care.
He insisted on coming with us, although he was exhausted.
Because he looks very young for his age, we decided not to send him to school till he was 8.
Even if you fail, you will have the satisfaction of knowing that you've tried your best.
I ran away down the hill in case she tried to follow me.
One. Despite the increasing number of health food stores in the country, most people still have poor eating habits.
2. Despite 2 factories suffered power failure because of the storm, the company was able to send out its shipments on schedule.
3. Aside from the slight color adjustment that Sally Forth is currently making, the brochure is ready for printing.
4. Despite the success of yesterday's speech, the candidate is still not expected to win the election next week.
5. There will be an additional parking charge for all events except for the afternoon plays.
6. Despite the company's poor performance, its chief executive officer, Mr. Smith, was given a generous raise last month.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 25.
It was an unexpected disappointment to receive a rejection letter from the company.
Mr. Kim made an excellent speech and received a standing ovation. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 26.
You should submit the application form at least a month in advance of the conference.
You can tell what type of person he is if you know his friends. Don't you know the proverb, birds of a feather flock together?
One. The Micropart Corporation has decided to introduce a new advertising campaign in an effort to change their corporate image.
2. Peters Incorporated offers a wide range of office furniture to meet the needs of industrial and commercial customers.
3. The company is required to inform employees of any layoffs or changes in the pay scale at least a month in advance.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 27. It was late, so we decided to take a taxi home.
Hyun is in a difficult situation, so I agreed to lend him some money.
I enjoy dancing.
The man admitted not buying a ticket.
Mr. and Mrs. Kim are planning to take a trip to the West Coast.
The plant has discontinued manufacturing that item.
He always enjoys helping his wife with household tasks every weekend.
Endors Audio announced that it would discontinue making its line of portable CD players.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 28.
I know a woman who works in the sales department.
This is the kind of thing which inevitably increases costs.
This is the car whose speed is much faster than ours.
Her brother, who lives in Busan, is coming to visit next week.
Mr. Binns, who made a decision to expand the product line, will attend this conference.
One. This digital collar, which is placed around the neck of wolves, lets environmentalists track the animals' movements.
2. Most of our machines have parts that cannot be disconnected.
3. The exhibit on the solar system, which proved to be very popular, will remain open for another month.
4. We recommend that you invest in any of the manufacturing companies that are found on this list.
5. The catering company is currently offering a special rate to businesses that have used their services more than 3 times in the past 3 years.
6. All customers who are interested in entering the raffle should bring their receipt to the information desk by 5 o'clock. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 29.
It was afternoon and most of the shops were shut.
Most students at the university have an inadequate knowledge of English.
1. Most employees in our department have been with the firm for more than 3 years.
2. Unlike most of the other automobiles in its price range, the Camaro comes with a sophisticated computer navigation system.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 30.
Students who work with diligence are more likely to succeed in college.
I hope I'll never stand up in front of the audience and give a speech.
They are subject to the immigration law like anyone else.
It is difficult to keep track of all the new discoveries in cardiology.
1. Mr. Fox agreed with the analysis of the consulting firm and decided to make the changes as soon as possible.
2. Companies have to carefully keep track of what products they have promised to their customers and have them delivered on schedule.
3. With the positive outlook of the economy, people are more willing to take long and expensive vacations.
4. Mr. Thomas was in charge of all business dealings in East Asia, including the Marami account.
5. Taking advantage of recent market trends, Fonts Industries has released a redesigned version of its electronic diaries.
6. Goods purchased abroad and with a market value of over $500 are subject to a 15% duty charge.
7. All flights to Asia are subject to cancellation. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 31. Beta-carotene is found in carrots, but its use by the body is not fully understood.
The president initially appeared to endorse the idea, but he changed his mind.
Though they know carpools are more economical, most employees still choose to drive to work by themselves.
After years of working for a big company, I decided to go it alone. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 32.
Jeffrey Hunker, a director, told a congressional panel that he will quit.
Hwang Young-jo is considered by many to be one of the greatest marathoners of modern times.
The president hired a new director who had worked for Samsung. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 33.
When he had kimchi for the first time, he had to keep his mouth open for hours, fanning it with his hand.
He went home late at night, finding his wife dead on the couch.
Barring extreme fluctuations in the exchange rate, the government plans to take new policies.
One. Barring an extreme change in the world economy, the current real estate prices will not drastically change for the rest of the year.
2. Please have your package number and other relevant information readily available when you call about a delivery.
3. The computer company readily agreed to the terms offered by the government, ensuring its selection for the lucrative contract. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 34.
She made a decision to take a vacation in the mountains.
Please acknowledge receipt of this document by signing the enclosed form.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 35. I stayed up all night to watch the Super Bowl on TV.
Walking along the street, he found a wallet.
Had it not been for her assistance, I should have failed in business.
Should you need secretarial services, call us at 306-7476.
Had he been elected, the county would have been the best in the states.
Had John known the fact that she left this village, he would not have come here.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 36. She is 3 years old.
The museum in Seoul houses 10,000 pieces of Korean jewelry, textiles, and china.
The passenger had only one $100 bill with him when he boarded the bus.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 37. He has no friend to advise him on tax matters.
He is going to America to study English literature.
It was impossible for her to solve the problem.
There are many sights to see here.
The CEO left to catch a flight for New York.
One, the willingness of all parties to work toward a common goal will decide the success or failure of a cooperative venture.
2. Jan Siberry, who will be taking over the research project, would like to meet the statisticians to discuss the latest results.
3. The size of the crowd made it impossible for us to see the show from where we were sitting.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 38.
She no longer works here. She retired.
The package has not arrived yet.
She hardly ever wears a red coat.
She has yet to finish her homework.
I haven't yet received confirmation of my appointment.
He hardly ever goes to church on Sunday.
One, prior to takeoff, please place your belongings in either the overhead compartment or underneath the seat in front of you.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 39. He proposed that we postpone the trip.
Her doctor recommends that she see a specialist for her skin condition.
It is important that we go there by tomorrow.
Example. Our teacher requested that the class be quiet. I insisted that she go to the hospital immediately. It is imperative that she call home immediately because her child is ill.
The bank recommends that the loan be taken over a period of 7 years.
It is important that the cocktail be shaken.
One. When replacing the toner cartridge of the fax machine, it is important that it be shaken first.
2. The chief technician insists that the network be reinstalled, though there hasn't been a problem so far.
3. It is important that no one be admitted to the premises without first signing in at the security office.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 40. The Samsung credit card will make it possible to obtain discounts on motor oil.
Before settling on a price, make sure that the merchant is honest with you.
The company said their new lamps were 60% more efficient than previous models, making it easier for consumers to conserve energy.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar 41. Economics, which is the study of the production of wealth and the consumption of goods and services in a society, is the oldest of the social sciences.
They caution that the careless use of this lubricant can cause air pollution.
There is a growing concern in the clothing industry about safety standards in the workplace.
1. As a graduate student majoring in international relations at the university, Ms. Randall will also be required to take several courses in economics. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 42.
After you have completed the project, you will be transferred to the main office.
If you have any suggestions regarding the next meeting, please call our office before Saturday.
When the staff returned to work after the vacation yesterday, they learned that 2 of their colleagues had been fired.
If the bank does not lend the small firm money, it will go bankrupt in a month.
One. If you experience any difficulty, please call us at the number on the last page of this brochure.
2. After only 5 months with Albright Industries, Mr. Cheney had exceeded his annual sales target.
3. The Real World Encyclopedia, which will comprise a total of 25 volumes, will be published in October by Bounty Press.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 43.
The more preparation you do now, the more confident you will be before the exam.
Earlier than the development of laptop computers, there were many difficulties in the quick dispatch of business. One. Prior to becoming a manager at Russell's Industries, Mr. Wang worked as an engineer at Lomax.
2. The more sophisticated the automotive component, the smaller the chance that a person would be able to fix it without the help of a specialist.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 44.
Significant developments occurred in the manufacturing industry in the early 1900s.
She is very discreet and always takes care never to offend others.
In Korea, assessing the proper type of insurance coverage is becoming much more difficult.
One. Clients who wish to change their method of payment for their loans must first receive the director's approval.
2. While inside the office building, one's identification card must be in plain view.
3. We guarantee that this product will provide you with years of satisfaction.
4. The reference book offered a great amount of practical information about writing and getting published.
5. A reception featuring light snacks and refreshments will be held after the presentation.
6. Thompson Corporation believed that its recent growth in profits was mostly due to the introduction of a new marketing campaign.
7. Within the next 2 weeks, our faculty board will review your application and contact you for an interview.
8. Please take a look at the seating arrangement and menu to make sure that they are up to your satisfaction.
9. Despite the countless hours invested in careful planning, the company has decided to cancel the production of the item. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 45.
Han Gyul has been working hard for the past year and plans to do something nice this weekend.
Ms. Kim will finish the remaining assignments as soon as the data have been reviewed by her researchers.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC grammar, 46. There has been a $7 billion increase in world trade in the last 3 years, yet workers in many countries still express concern about job security.
Employees who are absent from work due to illness must hand in a doctor's note to their boss or make up the hours missed.
Visiting clients may choose to tour the Hangul Mansion or go to the art museum.
Recruitment for salespersons began 2 months ago and is expected to continue for another month.
1. Most people know the importance of a proper diet, yet they still fail to eat healthy meals 3 times a day.
2. Employees should be sure to submit a detailed list of their travel expenses. Otherwise, they might not be reimbursed for the full amount.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 47. The computer industry should do even better next year when the government passes legislation that deregulates the industry. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 48.
I will sign up for a course on the development of Greek thought.
I would like to go to a formal dinner on Friday.
We have a right to refuse to take part in anything that's illegal.
People attending the seminar expressed concern about the lack of interest.
Anyone ordering art supplies must first check with the supervisor.
The supermarket guarantees delivery to the customers' houses.
Live broadcast of the hearings was proposed in today's Congress meeting.
This hotel has a safety deposit box for the protection of your valuables.
The splendid acting made last night's play quite exciting.
In the early 1990s, Korea became the world's leading maker for semiconductors and a leader in the development of semiconductor production technology.
Because her only colleague was on vacation, Ms. Kim was entirely alone in her office for a period of 3 weeks.
One, the policy changes were made by the company in an effort to increase employee productivity.
2. The special school sale at Lee's department store will give you a chance to buy numerous items at a substantial discount.
3. Connors Incorporated announced that it is looking for qualified and motivated individuals to provide administrative support to its research division.
4. Customized messages or images can be added to the cards for a nominal fee.
5. The sudden burst of electricity that occurred because of the storm did not have any effect on our computer system.
6. The marketing team will leave for Paris this evening to meet with our clients about the new advertisement campaign.
7. Symantec has a virtual monopoly on handheld computers because of their product's durability and inventive design.
8. Not surprisingly, all the companies we contacted showed great interest in taking on the project.
9. To maintain the natural condition of the area, the City Council has decided not to construct the highway near Crystal Lake.
10. Now that the virus has been eliminated, the company can use its computer system to send information to its regional offices.
11. To continue playing on the football team, members must attend practice sessions every Saturday morning.
12. You should have received your invitation for a formal dinner honoring Dr. Griswold.
13. Rogers Express Service guarantees delivery in 3 days to most destinations in the United States.
14. The mayor promised the public that the second phase of development of the downtown plaza would be completed by next year.
15. Caustic's company will probably come up with an original advertising strategy for its new product.
16. The resignation of the defense minister caught everyone in the ministry by surprise.
17. The company has a policy requiring all employees to receive written permission from their supervisors before using company vehicles.
18. Sorad Corporation is discussing changes in company policies in an effort to increase employee productivity.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 49. Buffaloes are in danger of extinction.
Broaden your knowledge of English with this book.
How far apart people sit or stand when holding a conversation depends on each culture.
Although this area is deserted, the old hotel shows remnants of the resort's former grandeur.
The police arrested the suspect and he was taken into custody.
One, Miss Randall's suggestions motivated us to broaden our research into areas we previously had ignored.
2. According to Professor Sally Mann, the effective utilization of facilities is a key component to increasing the rate of production. Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar 50.
The new tax rate comes into effect from April.
Use extreme caution.
They should buy ingredients in bulk to take advantage of seasonal price cuts.
He left his umbrella in the corner office.
You should submit the paper by the end of this month.
Jane has a back injury that will prevent her from playing in tomorrow's game.
I met the girl of my dreams in Cairo.
The computer industry will flourish well into the next century.
Reservations can be made by telephone.
I expect Hotel Seoul to compensate me for its mistake with my hotel bill.
Bill's just been in a computer course, all at the company's expense.
After the project was finished, she put in for a transfer to the main office.
When the computer system broke last month, it took the technician a week to find and repair the problem.
As soon as they receive all the relevant information, the problem will be dealt with completely.
One, because we require a written confirmation, orders for the product cannot be taken over the phone.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC Grammar Gold. Seating in the banquet hall has been arranged to your satisfaction.
Taxis have been the preferred means of transportation.
The right to revise the contents of this course catalog.
The mechanical processes were developed concurrently.
If the hoses are not connected tightly.
Number 1. Comply, compile. He was shot after failing to comply with a policeman's order to stop.
The bank branch will open once inspectors have verified that we have complied with all safety codes.
The document was compiled by the Department of Environment. Number 2. Averse, adverse, avert. I don't drink much, but I'm not averse to the occasional glass of wine.
He could no longer bear to watch and averted his gaze from the screen.
Thanks to his timely intervention, catastrophe was averted. Number 3. Objection, objective, objectivity. One of our government's objectives is to reduce unemployment.
It's difficult to be objective when dealing with one's family.
The tribunal will consider their claim with complete objectivity. Number 4. Moderate, modest, modify. He has quite moderate political opinions.
To lose weight, moderate the amount of food you eat.
Bill Clinton appointed moderates to the Supreme Court.
She was always surprisingly modest about her role in the Everest expedition.
Sugar prices rose by a modest amount in the past year.
The car has been modified to use less fuel.
In the phrase readily available, the adverb readily modifies the adjective available. 1. The commander said that the Army would comply with the ceasefire.
2. The flight was delayed because of adverse weather.
3. I believe that a journalist should be completely objective.
4. One night stay in a modest hotel costs around $40.
Number 5. Solvent, soluble, resolute. When I am paid next week, I will be solvent again.
Use paint stripper or other solvent to remove any paint that has been splashed on your clothes.
Uranium is soluble in seawater.
The blue dye on the leather is water-soluble.
We still believe that the situation in Korea is soluble.
The unions are resolute. Only a complete agreement to their demands can prevent a strike.
Number 6. Merge, emerge, submerge. Hanil Bank merged with the Korea Commercial Bank.
The fact emerged that she was older than she claimed.
Nuclear submarines can stay submerged for weeks on end when necessary. Number 7. Commitment, remit, emit. We question this government's commitment to reducing unemployment.
Thanks to your energy and commitment, the project was a great success.
Many immigrants regularly remit money to their families.
When an iron object is heated in a fire, it glows red and emits radiation.
Number 8. Deductible, deductive. The company deducted this payment from his compensation.
I deduced from her tone that she was pleased.
5. They have to show that the company is solvent to get a loan.
6. The Bank of America will merge with Citibank.
7. We will pay you well, and in return we will expect your loyalty and full commitment.
8. Your employer will deduct income tax from your salary.
Number 9. Be eligible for, be entitled to. He is eligible for Social Security benefits.
The world saw Kim as a rich, eligible bachelor, but really, he was very shy.
Junior members of staff are only entitled to 24 days holiday a year.
He thinks he is entitled to know why he wasn't given the job.
Number 10. Deposit, depose, dispose, depot. Cyclists should deposit used parts here.
You can deposit your valuables in the hotel safe.
This hotel requires a deposit for all advance bookings.
The President of France was deposed by the army.
He was then more generously disposed to admit the validity of opposing views.
They are building food depots in Incheon.
Number 11. Collate, collateral. Jones has spent much of his working life collating the data on which the study was based.
A collateral aim of the government's industrial strategy is to increase employment.
He used his house as collateral for the loan. Number 12. Fabric, fabrication, fabulous. The fabric of society has been deeply damaged by the previous regime.
She described the interview with the designer in an Italian magazine as a complete fabrication.
The scenery and weather were fabulous. 9. It's for the court to decide whether you are eligible for compensation.
10. You are advised to deposit your valuables in the hotel safe.
11. The doctors are still collating the results of the tests.
12. This fabric is too coarse for a winter jacket.
Number 13. Confident, confidential, in confidence, with confidence. Please keep what I'm about to tell you confidential.
I feel quite confident about my English.
I am giving you this information in the strictest confidence.
How can anyone say with confidence that the recession is over?
Number 14. Comprehensive, comprehensible. There will be a comprehensive inspection of the nuclear plant.
These documents are comprehensible only to lawyers.
Number 15. Extend, expand. The River Nile extends as far as Lake Victoria.
You can extend the guarantee by paying an extra $20.
The population of the town expanded rapidly in the 1980s.
I don't quite follow your reasoning. Can you expand on it?
Number 16. Compliment, compliment, complimentary. She was showered with compliments on her excellent performance.
I must compliment you on the way you handled the difficult situation.
I have 3 complimentary tickets for Titanic.
The wine complements the steak perfectly.
13-1. Doctors are required to keep patients' records completely confidential.
13-2. I can say with complete confidence that it would have been desirable not to have informed the public.
14. This book offers an easily comprehensible explanation of English grammar.
15. The company has expanded its operations in China by building a new factory there.
16. There were 2 complimentary bottles of wine in the hotel room. Number 17. Doubt, suspect. I suspect that he is a spy.
I doubt whether he is a spy.
There is no doubt that he is guilty.
I doubt whether she'll be able to come on Saturday.
Number 18. Defer, deter, refer. He seemed to defer to his wife in everything.
Let's defer the decision for a few days.
How can we deter North Korea from using the atomic bomb?
I would need to refer to my notes before I could give you the precise date.
Number 19. Fare, fee, rate. Airfares have shot up by 30%.
Some doctors charge exorbitant fees.
What's the hourly rate for serving?
The rates are very reasonable for a 5-star hotel.
Number 20. Assume, resume, resume. I think our department should assume the responsibility for foreign accounts.
The concert will resume after a short interval.
She submitted a 3-page resume for a job interview. 17. I doubt whether it will make any difference.
18. You had better defer to your mother's wishes.
19. Hotel Plaza has very reasonable rates for single rooms.
20. She will assume her new responsibility this weekend.
Number 21. Trans. In the last 3 years, he's undergone a personal transformation.
The book takes an interesting look at the transition from adolescence to adulthood.
They are transferring me to the head office.
The bank charges a fixed rate for financial transactions.
Number 22. Considerable, considerate. A statue was erected at considerable public expense.
I think he's the most charming, most considerate man I've ever known.
Number 23. End, finality. He's leaving at the end of December.
The end justifies the means.
Young children have difficulty grasping the finality of death.
The word retirement has a horrible air of finality about it.
Number 24. Authorship, authorities, authorization. There is no evidence to dispute his claim to authorship.
Most local authorities provide swimming baths for the use of the public.
You need special authorization to park here. 21. All transactions must be completed before 4:30 p.m., when the customer lobby in the bank closes to the general public.
22. Doing it properly makes considerable demand on our time.
23. All application forms must be submitted before the end of this month.
24. I can't spend this money without authorization from head office.
Number 25. Production, produce, productivity. Nature is the mother of all productions.
He makes his living by selling the produce of the farm.
Management is always seeking ways to increase worker productivity. Number 26. Adapt, adept, adopt. When we moved to Spain, the children adapted to the change very well.
She was very adept at making excuses for her lateness.
He is not my real father. I'm adopted.
We adopted their production method.
Number 27. During, for. It rained during the night for 3 hours.
My father was in the hospital for 5 weeks.
My father was in the hospital during the summer. 25. We managed to get most of our agricultural produce in Arkansas.
26. Eugen Park is an adept electric violinist.
27. We go swimming every day during the summer. Number 28. Assort, assess, assign, assert. The bowl contains assorted hard candies.
I assessed how much it would cost to build a new house.
My boss assigned me the task of finding new offices to rent.
The lawyer asserts that his client is not guilty.
Number 29. Subordinate, subscribe, subsidiary, substitute. I want to take a vacation, but that is subordinate to finding a job.
Jane subordinated her wishes to those of the group.
I subscribe to a monthly magazine about TOEIC.
My brother works for a smaller subsidiary of a big car company.
The new player substituted for the injured star. Number 30. Withdraw, withstand, withhold. I withdrew some money from my checking account.
She is strong and can withstand pain.
She withheld approval of the plan until she understood it completely. Number 31. Expire, respire, perspire, conspire. My driver's license expires in July.
Respiration is necessary for life.
She perspires when she is nervous.
The generals conspired to take over the government.
28. I've been assigned the job of looking after the children.
29-1. What newspaper do you subscribe to?
29-2. He assigned the task to one of his subordinate officers.
30. One of the minority parties had withheld its support for Chancellor Kim.
31. Our contracts are due to expire on December 31st. TOEIC Vocabulary for Part 1. 1. The men are wearing the same outfit.
2. She is handing the camera to her friend. They are handing out papers.
3. She is offering the man this change.
4. The workers are employed in a warehouse.
5. The boxes are stacked on top of one another. The boxes are stacked up by the wall. The men are stacking boxes in a row.
6. The boy is putting fuel in the vehicle.
7. He is holding up a certificate.
8. She is adjusting the microphone.
9. There are several piles of plates. The boat is piled high with cargo.
10. The players are clapping for their teammate.
11. There are several lanes of traffic in each direction.
12. The traffic has been detoured off the highway.
13. They are honking their horns at the other cars.
14. The office building is being demolished.
15. The man and woman are staring out the window. They are climbing the stairs.
16. The man is getting directions.
17. The women are arranging food on the table. They are rearranging the furniture.
18. He is folding the newspaper.
19. The employees are taking a break.
20. She is using a payphone.
21. The flooding has made the road impassable.
22. Some tables have been set up near the water.
23. The men are reading a notice on the board.
24. There are skyscrapers on the other side of the river.
25. A photographer is developing the film.
26. They are looking at the photo exhibit in the museum.
27. The train tracks are parallel to the road.
28. The escalator is in use.
29. He is putting away his belongings. They are putting away their tools.
30. The boys and girls are sitting in alternate seats.
31. There are lots of pedestrians on the street.
32. The girl is making the beds.
33. The produce is displayed for sale outside the store.
34. The waiter is stirring their beverages.
35. People are about to board the bus.
36. There are many drawers in the cabinet.
37. The team is presenting its report to the board. She is making a formal presentation.
38. The workers are fixing one of the lamps.
39. The workers are spraying water over the plant. There are several chemical plants over there.
40. They are waving for a taxi.
41. The railing is being rebuilt.
42. They are raking the fallen leaves.
43. The men are moving some equipment into the room. There is no medical equipment in the room.
44. The cars are parked on different levels. The building is only one story.
45. They are passing out the documents. He passed out last night.
46. The people are relaxing by the river.
47. They are seated by the edge of the street. They are running to the water's edge.
48. The woman is walking ahead of the man.
49. The van is parked next to another vehicle.
50. She is going down the steps.
51. The vegetables are being harvested.
52. They are polishing the furniture.
53. He is waiting to pay for his groceries.
54. The road has many exits in the section of town.
55. All the seats are occupied.
56. They are lined up against the wall.
57. The woman is putting on her name tag.
58. One woman is leaning on the other. He is leaning on the tree.
59. The orchestra has finished the performance. They are performing outdoors.
60. The men are lifting weights in the gymnasium.
61. The men are preparing to tow the truck. The boat is being towed behind a van.
62. The men are attaching cables to the steel beams.
63. The ladder goes up to the 10th floor.
64. The customs officer is checking the luggage.
65. The bus is at the intersection.
66. The avenue is crowded with people.
67. The costumes are very simple.
68. The merchants have moved indoors.
69. He is looking at a display in the museum.
70. She is weighing the guest's luggage.
71. She is unpacking the suitcase.
72. The people are saluting the flag.
73. She's hanging her coat in the closet.
74. Some of the equipment has already been unloaded. He is loading materials onto the truck.
75. The room is being cleaned after the patient's examination.
76. The documents are being distributed to the women.
77. They are sharing the umbrella.
78. The boat is out of service and is being repaired.
79. The conductor is taking the women's train tickets.
80. The pasta is in aisle 3.
81. The man is watering the plant.
82. The tables are partially shaded.
83. This is a 5-star hotel with fantastic facilities.
84. He is wrapping the packages.
85. She is going to make a copy of the document.
86. The machine is turned off. He is turning off the microphone.
87. He is bending over to tie his shoelace.
88. They are pouring water for their colleagues.
89. He is hanging up the telephone.
90. She is ironing the sheet.
91. She's taking a nap on one of the beds.
92. They seem to be enjoying themselves.
93. The road can accommodate only single-lane traffic.
94. He is reaching for some materials on top of the shelf.
95. They are removing their jackets.
96. The woman is pulling down the window shades.
97. He is watching a movie about transportation.
98. The customer has finished his meal.
99. The competition is over.
100. The area is heavily wooded.
Part 2. Vocabulary. 1. Is Bill Clinton a programmer or a systems analyst?
2. The waiter made a mistake on our bill, didn't he?
3. Will the conference be held here or at headquarters?
4. Didn't the new sound equipment come out of your regular departmental budget?
5. Why don't we meet at 8:45 in the lobby?
6. The meeting is about the upcoming acquisition.
7. The product was in stock last week, wasn't it?
8. There was a large inventory on hand then.
9. I recommend the place around the corner.
10. What do you estimate the supplies will cost? I'm waiting for an estimate.
11. Why does Mrs. Kim want to see the invoices?
12. Who do I speak to about arranging for a car?
13. Can you locate the files on the merger?
14. The flight for Tokyo is leaving in approximately 3 hours.
15. Medium rare, please.
16. The restaurant doesn't take checks.
17. How much will it cost to have the leaflets printed?
18. When can you get me a copy of the most recent sales report?
19. Why don't you check this set of figures for me?
20. I don't have enough money in my account.
21. The fare has gone up effective today.
22. The regional director is in charge of the project.
23. The flight was postponed because of a mechanical problem.
24. Check in at the departure gate.
25. The next shuttle bus departs in 20 minutes.
26. She went directly to the conference room.
27. Are you going to accept the job offer or stay in your current position?
28. Why don't we take a break and come back in 20 minutes?
29. Shall I go ahead and order those replacement parts?
30. Where is my copy of the new annual report?
31. Where was the supervisor when the machine broke down?
32. I work at a manufacturing plant.
33. No, I didn't know we had a new supplier.
34. How long has Samsung Motors been carrying out this type of negotiation?
35. Who has the key to the supply room?
36. Did you submit the proposal by the due date?
37. When will the new software be installed on our computers?
38. Don't you think this new project will be beneficial to the company?
39. What's wrong with the photocopy machine?
40. Who authorized Mr. Park to rent that car?
41. What did the memo from Miss Jung indicate?
42. Here's a more detailed brochure.
43. Don't you think we should put more resources into marketing?
44. You take a lot of overseas business trips, don't you?
45. Whose turn is it to run that focus group tomorrow night?
46. Is anyone else working overtime, or have they all gone home?
47. Which chart shows the monthly sales statements for this past fiscal year?
48. The deadline is passed.
49. Aren't you familiar with the safety regulations?
50. Why did the company lay off so many employees?
Part 3. Vocabulary. 1. This code is already marked down.
2. What a nuisance! I can't make out the fine print in this contract without my glasses.
3. Have there been any advertisements for jobs for pharmacists lately?
4. I just saw an advertisement in the newspaper that included a good wage and benefit package.
5. She's no longer in this division.
6. She transferred to overseas sales.
7. I'm sorry, sir, we're completely booked tonight.
8. The reason I pulled you over is because your left turn signal seems to be out of order.
9. I just plugged in my hairdryer and all the lights went out.
10. If you wish to change or cancel a reservation, please press 2.
11. If you would like to enroll in our frequent flyer program, please press 3.
12. In addition, you'll receive a special bonus jewelry box as a token of our appreciation.
13. We'll be discussing her views on why some candidates fared well in the election and why others didn't live up to expectations.
14. The best deal I can find for you would probably be to take a bus.
15. One of the express mail services would have it delivered within 24 hours.
16. There I was, stranded in London with no passport and no money.
17. You need to call the bank immediately. It sounds urgent.
18. Do you have any rooms available?
19. I'll call the directors to see if they can expedite the processing.
20. There's a shopping mall not far from here.
21. I've heard nothing but praise for that new health food restaurant.
22. I enjoy looking at all these exotic fish, don't you?
23. I heard the symphony must raise an additional $7 million to cover its costs.
24. I know, they're looking for contributions from some large corporate sponsors.
25. Certainly, I'll need some form of identification and a major credit card.
26. I'd like to make a reservation for a round-trip ticket from Seoul to Tokyo.
27. Our market shares have increased this quarter by 10%. 28. This is Mr. Park in room 1004. I'd like a wake-up call for tomorrow at 5 a.m.
29. I'm famished. I can't believe the meeting lasted so long.
30. The company plans to merge with the Chicago firm.
31. There seems to be a page missing from this copy of the auditor's report.
32. They're making their final revisions on Tuesday.
33. Could you also send the copy to the accounting department?
34. Jane is still on the company payroll.
35. The restaurant charged us $50 for the wine.
36. I'll review your comments and redraft the proposal this evening.
37. I think we're a big enough company now to have our own in-house newsletter coming out every month.
38. Well, maybe quarterly would be better. Many companies report quarterly on how much money they have made.
39. Apparently, there is some kind of malfunction with the generator at the main plant.
40. Sarah's initial good opinion of him changed with time.
41. We'll be in town over the weekend for the convention.
42. The memo issued on Wednesday said the new trainees would be here in 3 weeks.
43. I need the specifications for the housing units on the west side of the city.
44. I thought Mr. Kim's qualifications were very impressive.
45. Well, we're only remodeling the inside of the building this year.
46. I'm driving my car. I'll give you a lift if you like.
47. I'd suggest you go to the stationery store across the street.
48. No, I completed my summary on Friday.
49. I heard that city bus drivers are going on strike at midnight.
50. True, yet it's sophisticated enough to keep track of all our records. Part 4. Vocabulary. 1. All bids must be submitted in person to the main office by June 5th.
2. The successful bidder will be announced by Sony's Chief Executive Officer on July 1st.
3. Imagine living in a spacious modern apartment in a country club setting.
4. Here, activities and facilities can keep you constantly busy.
5. We offer luxurious one-bedroom apartments for $2,000 a month.
6. Last year we opened 500 shops, and now we hope to expand into the central region.
7. There were 70 people enrolled in Korean history.
8. We are having difficulty recruiting enough properly qualified employees.
9. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your conductor speaking.
10. The ticket agent can answer questions concerning alternative travel routes.
11. Save up to 58% on every call.
12. Our $100 minimum monthly usage fee is the lowest in the business.
13. Our company bought a user-friendly computer system to save on training time.
14. This year's award banquet will be held in the Grand Ballroom of the elegant Hilton Hotel.
15. They have donated 100 free gifts, including books and software to you.
16. Our real estate agents can facilitate your search for the ideal house or apartment.
17. We regret to announce that Flight 777 for London has been canceled due to the inclement weather conditions there.
18. Would all passengers holding reservations on Flight 777 to London please step up to the ticket counter to receive your hotel vouchers?
19. We have surpassed our old record by $5 million.
20. President Che has authorized a dividend increase of 10 cents per share.
21. The bridge over the Han River is backed up about 3 miles.
22. The traffic is jammed due to a stalled car on the road.
23. After 3 months of exercise, she is in good shape.
24. Today we are featuring a 30% discount on all computers in the store.
25. This sale includes our top-of-the-line laptops.
26. The trip will take approximately 2 hours, so you might want to bring along some snacks.
27. This evening, our board members will be presenting prizes and awards to those staff members who have demonstrated exceptional dedication to the company.
28. I'm going to have to reschedule the appointment because I have an unexpected out-of-town business meeting that day.
29. We'd also like to notify passengers that the flight will leave from gate number 50 instead of gate number 20.
30. I would like to welcome you to our second annual Sales Representative Seminar.
31. Due to the renovation of the restaurant, food will not be available until January 30th.
32. None of the coin-operated beverage machines will be in operation until tomorrow.
33. Mr. Kim's contributions to the electronics industry over the years have been remarkable.
34. He designed countless products which distinguished him as an innovative, dedicated engineer.
35. We are happy to have with us some well-known experts in the field.
36. The morning sessions will be on the second floor.
37. Non-members can register at the tables located at the east entrance.
38. I'm very honored to accept this prize on behalf of my father.
39. My father would want to acknowledge the group of photo editors who worked with him.
40. Hello, you have reached Dr. Harrison's office.
41. We're sorry, but all our operators are engaged at the moment.
42. Please hold the line.
43. As you know, this is an intensive course for business managers.
44. These will be based on current issues in management. Storm warnings have been issued for the Gulf of Thailand. The latest issue of Time is featuring Korea's economic crisis.
45. Besides exhibits with recent works of fiction, there will be readings and autograph sessions by well-known poets.
46. As you know, we have 2 options.
47. To inquire about the balance on a checking account, press 1.
48. For further details about the special offers, watch the business section of the local newspaper.
49. After 30 years in business, Moon Furniture is going out of business on December 31st.
50. I'm glad you can join me today for the tour of the museum's splendid modern art collection.
51. We will try to focus on some of the museum's best-known pieces.
52. Stay tuned for an update in 30 minutes.
53. Seoul Department Store announced today that it will close the store permanently.
54. We can be flexible about your starting date.
55. This express train is bound for Busan.
56. We will be making a brief stop at Daejeon before reaching our final destination.
57. Tickets are non-refundable and valid only on Korean Airlines.
58. Admission is free. Reservations are not necessary.
59. We need to increase productivity to make our company more competitive locally.
60. Jim conducted a study to give us some insight into our situation.
61. I urge you to finish the report by tomorrow. She is in urgent need of medical attention. Parts 5, 6, and 7. Vocabulary. 1. A sense of humor is a real asset in sales.
2. Inspection of imported goods is mandatory in Korea.
3. You are cordially invited to attend the dinner in honor of Kim Dae-gyun.
4. Prospective home buyers were arriving in droves.
5. Local dignitaries were at the governor's garden party to meet us.
6. She was feeling sad, so her friends boosted her spirits by giving her a party.
7. All application forms should be submitted in duplicate by July 10th.
8. We will give you a salary commensurate with your experience.
9. Networking all computers would facilitate the sales team with their work.
10. 3 workers were fined for not following the correct procedures.
11. This hotel's grand ballroom can accommodate over 1,000 people.
12. I'd like to open an account at that bank.
13. The software company's acquisition of SA Company will help it compete in the hardware market.
14. We live in the house adjacent to the restaurant.
15. Our Seoul company has an affiliate in Jeju.
16. The government allocated money for bridges and roads in this year's budget.
17. I allotted money from my household budget for a laptop.
18. The wage disagreement was resolved by arbitration.
19. Please acknowledge receipt of the letter by signing the enclosed form.
20. She assessed how much it would cost to build the new headquarters.
21. We can safely assume that the price of gold will go up again soon. He assumed the responsibility for the division.
22. You have to pay tax on the item.
23. The beggars are entitled to a grant of 70,000 won a month.
24. He is eligible to enroll in Seoul National University. He is eligible for the job.
25. The jury agreed in a unanimous decision that the defendant is not guilty.
26. 4 scholars collaborated in writing the grammar book.
27. Don't buy the copy machine. There are some defects in it.
28. The old woman's health has deteriorated since last month.
29. Numerous environmental organizations opposed the government's plan to build a powerhouse.
30. The riot police used tear gas and water bombs to disperse the crowd.
31. Please state your name, address, and occupation.
32. He had to forfeit his driving license because he refused to take a chemical test for intoxication.
33. The directors have a vested interest in the company making as much money as possible.
34. She kept all her valuables in the hotel safe.
35. The board of directors concurred that a change of plan was needed.
36. The culprits were taken into custody.
37. They insisted that we reimburse them for the damage our car has caused.
38. Please remit payment by cash immediately.
39. The inspector scrutinized every aspect of the student's performance.
40. All cars on the train are designated as no smoking areas.
41. This coffee was too strong, so I diluted it with more water.
42. The party was in danger of splitting into a number of opposing factions.
43. He packed all his belongings in a suitcase and left for New York.
44. Her cousin was the only beneficiary of her will and got all the money.
45. She is a clerical worker but wants to be in the LAPD.
46. The events were held in commemoration of the end of the war.
47. Wheat, corn, rice, silver, and gold are important commodities.
48. The boy and girl are very compatible. They've never fought each other.
49. The company didn't comply with government regulations on paying taxes.
50. The police confiscated the criminals' knives.
51. Traffic congestion caused us to be late for the concert.
52. The multinational conglomerate has some companies that make clothing, computers, and cigarettes.
53. He had a pain in his throat for 3 consecutive days.
54. I would never consent to such an unsuitable marriage.
55. Tae-hyun refused to join our team. Consequently, we need one more member.
56. The company consolidated several divisions into one.
57. The meeting will convene at 3 p.m.
58. They hatched a plot to make counterfeit money.
59. The actresses came to Korea through the courtesy of the company.
60. Her career culminated in the winning of the Nobel Prize.
61. In defiance of all the rules, demonstrators marched through the White House.
62. We discarded some old clothes in the trash.
63. The doctor prescribed a large dose of medicine for the infection.
64. That house cost the equivalent of 10 years' salary.
65. The army evacuated the people from the flooded village.
66. My passport expires next month.
67. They expedited the shipment by sending it by overnight express.
68. Our company's fiscal year is the calendar year, January 1st to December 31st.
69. Oil prices fluctuated wildly in the 70s.
70. The trainer fostered his career as a champion boxer.
71. This vase is fragile, so be careful.
72. The habitat for pandas is mainly in Taiwan.
73. The climb was considered hazardous in inclement weather.
74. No two people have identical fingerprints.
75. In starting a business, you have to use your own initiative.
76. The Prime Minister initiated major social reforms.
77. What ingredients does this recipe call for?
78. Our company launched a new advertising campaign for our new line of products. Yesterday, NASA launched a new spacecraft.
79. Tenants are liable for the damage they cause to the property.
80. Your company doesn't have a monopoly on softwares.
81. A Seoul City ordinance requires that garbage must be collected once a week.
82. There are lots of offices inside the municipal building.
83. The renewal of your driving license could take up to 5 weeks.
84. John, Jane, and Sam were given $50, $70, and $100 respectively.
85. The magazine coped with a fall in the level of revenue from subscriptions.
86. She managed to retrieve her handbag from the dog's mouth.
87. The reverse side of the coin has a picture of a king on it.
88. I have subscribed to Time for 7 years.
89. She had to pay a surcharge on her plane tickets because her luggage weighed too much.
90. The bank will have to verify that he is the owner of the house.
91. She lives in the vicinity of Seoul Station.
92. I had to withdraw some money from my checking account.
93. He is flexible and always open to new ideas.
94. I am enclosing a check with this letter.
95. It was a manifest error of judgment. The flu epidemic manifested itself with a high fever and a cough.
96. She endorsed her paycheck and deposited it in the bank.
97. Every time I travel from Seoul to Los Angeles, I suffer from jet lag.
98. She came down with a cold yesterday.
99. The conditions in the field hospital were far from sanitary, and many wounded men developed infections.
100. Precipitation was very
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC words and phrases. The police chief told the detective to proceed with the investigation after the evidence had been gathered.
The automobile division of our company is very successful because of good teamwork and strict management.
This statue will be opened in honor of all the servicemen who have struggled to make this country a safe place to live.
Kim Dae-gyun's TOEIC phrase questions. 1. 10 people had been killed, and it was obvious that the situation had gotten beyond the control of the authorities.
2. According to an auditing report submitted by the insurer to the Financial Supervisory Commission, the company sharply increased its stake in city life.
3. It is the family who tends to benefit most from the windfall gains.
4. Given the rapid growth of imports, the nation's trade surplus is likely to drop significantly in the coming months.
5. Due largely to the hikes in oil prices in February, the country began to pay higher for its crude oil imports.
6. Tens of thousands of people swarmed the streets of Pristina on the 1st of September to celebrate the 10th anniversary of a unilateral declaration of independence.
7. At the end of the concert, all audience members should follow the signs to the exits on the left side of the theater.
8. In China, the gross national product grew at a 3% rate in the past year.
9. Miss Stone and I have the same question concerning the warehouse inventory in Seoul.
10. I try to read the newspapers every day to keep abreast of what's happening in this world.
11. Please distribute this memorandum to all employees. It sends word of change in our sick leave policy.
12. The man was responsible for the damage caused by his daughter's carelessness.
13. If all employees do their utmost to ensure a quality product, this company will be sure to succeed.
14. The Microsoftware company attributes its recent gains in the market to price cutting.
15. The marketing manager was concerned about the major changes in the working condition.
16. Candidates must have a doctor's degree to be eligible for the professional positions in this company.
17. The airport shuttle leaves every hour on the hour, Monday through Saturday.
18. Prior to 1996, there were no methods for curing AIDS, but in 1997 a research team led by Dr. David Ho developed an AIDS cocktail.
19. Attractive remuneration commensurate with qualifications, experience, and commitment will be offered to all successful candidates.
20. If we modernize our management, we will continue to grow and prosper well into the next century.
100 vocabulary questions.
1. He was previously known as Alan Smith before he was forced to change his name because of his involvement in the CIA.
2. I will only acknowledge receipt of a letter once I have it in front of me and I am given some time to go through it and give it my own seal of approval.
3. The board has made a unanimous decision to approve the appointment of our new company president, so I would like to introduce him to you now.
4. The aim of the Microsoft Windows operating system is to make computers more user-friendly for the general public.
5. The goal of web advertising is to make the practice of shopping at department stores and markets obsolete.
6. Among all the statesmen who will be at the dinner party tonight, Mr. Kim is by far the most well-respected dignitary.
7. Before you decide to travel around Europe, it is important to go to a travel agent so that you can put together a good itinerary.
8. The privatization of the transport industry will result in a huge boost for the economy of the region.
9. Aside from all the problems we have experienced during the rehearsals for this concert, I think that at the end of the day, it will be a success.
10. Whenever you buy some milk at the store, it is important to check the expiration date on the side of the bottle.
11. No sooner had Mr. Kim left the office than his employees stopped work and put their feet up for the rest of the day.
12. Presumably, all of the actors had learned their lines before they started rehearsing for the new production of the classical musical Cats.
13. Faced with a large budget deficit which had built up during the 90s, the president decided to create more jobs and privatize big industry.
14. Parking spaces will be assigned to all company employees as soon as everyone has paid the registration fee.
15. The fact that the man was a known felon is irrelevant to the evidence which has been presented in this case today.
16. I think that the new offshore investment which we embarked on this month will yield high dividends for the company.
17. Media coverage of this year's Olympics will be far more extensive than the previous time, so that viewers will be able to see as much of the games as possible.
18. Our travel agency will provide full compensation for any unused vacation bookings or plane tickets our clients have bought this summer.
19. This amazing offer for a new Health Walker fitness machine will be available at designated outlets this summer.
20. There is a general fear amongst residents of this town that waste from the nearby industrial site will contaminate their water supply.
21. All personnel must notify their immediate supervisors if there are any changes to the running schedule at the plant.
22. Help me to get this sick person to the hospital. Otherwise, he might suffer permanent brain damage or paralysis.
23. The bridge will be under construction for the next 2 years, so please use the alternative route until it is finished.
24. I will be away until next Tuesday, so if any of my friends call for me, please take a message and tell them I will get back to them as soon as possible.
25. A list of telephone extensions will be made available to all employees as soon as possible so that anyone can be easily contacted during working hours.
26. Once we have planned the length of your stay in the United Kingdom, we will be able to confirm your flight number and hotel reservations.
27. Once you reach adulthood, you will be able to make an informed decision about your future career and marriage plans.
28. In order to free up some space on the hard drive of this computer, I will have to discard many files from the folders in my directory.
29. Even though the situation in the Middle East is very tense presently, I think that effective arbitration by the Western powers in the dispute will help to ease these tensions.
30. I think we should take advantage of the present favorable economic circumstances and invest as much money as possible in saving for the future.
31. I think that we can assume that all the victims of the recent Concorde air crash were killed immediately on impact with the ground.
32. The President is no longer available for comment on the issue of recent tax cuts in the federal budget this year.
33. When crossing the enemy lines, the soldiers were told by their commanding officer to proceed with caution.
34. The development of the high-technology industry in this country will almost definitely increase the chances for economic growth.
35. The decisions of this company are strongly influenced not only by the needs of its clients, but also by the decisions of the stockholders.
36. It seems clear that McDonald's has a monopoly on the fast food industry, not only in this country, but all across the planet.
37. The salesman demonstrated the amazing features of the new cell phone, which included voice recognition programming and internet access.
38. The long-term forecast for economic recovery in this region of the country is fairly good. However, it will take a lot of effort by the citizens to make things change.
39. If you are walking late at night in this neighborhood, try to be conscious of your surroundings at all times.
40. He was a very good administrator, but he was known to procrastinate when it came to issues relating to the staff in his company.
41. I know that you are going through a very difficult time presently, but please don't take it out on me.
42. At this time, I would like to concentrate on a number of pertinent issues that affect all of the people living in the city.
43. I hope that all forms of racial or gender discrimination will be eradicated within the next few years, so that all people can reach their true potential.
44. He rose to the level of head teacher within just a few weeks of arriving at the elementary school.
45. In light of new evidence in this case, I think we can now narrow down the list of suspects.
46. The most important element of hotel management is maintaining high standards of customer service and hospitality.
47. The programming schedule this evening will be changed, due largely to unforeseen technical problems.
48. This company has only a marginal interest in trade with Eastern Europe because of recent economic troubles in that region.
49. I sincerely hope that the craft fair will help to generate funds to keep our charity alive.
50. The World AIDS Conference next week will focus on effective ways to prevent transmission of the disease amongst young people.
51. The police chief told the detective to proceed with the investigation after the evidence had been gathered.
52. There had been a number of messages left for him throughout the day, but he was unavailable for comment.
53. The governor will be available for comment as soon as he has been advised by the president this afternoon.
54. I will come with you to the concert providing that you don't drink and drive on the way home.
55. In case I don't see you later, have a good afternoon and a wonderful evening with your family.
56. I will agree to your proposal as long as you keep in mind the fiscal limitations of the company.
57. The estimate which the government proposed for economic growth this year doesn't come close to the actual figures.
58. Please examine this form carefully for any possible typing errors before it goes to the printing press next week.
59. The attached document is of vital importance to our company and must not be detached from the manifesto document itself.
60. Each part of the new Dustbuster vacuum cleaner is made separately and put together with the utmost care and precision.
61. The technological advances in the modern world will lead to new ways of life not yet seen by humanity.
62. We have yet to understand how the HIV virus will affect the world and the general health of people in the future.
63. The congressman spoke with his local supporters in order to clarify his position on the issue of increasing taxes in his constituency.
64. I want us to try and work cooperatively in order to make this organization as successful as possible.
65. If you don't comply with the local traffic regulations, you may be fined or even jailed for up to a month.
66. The success of this department depends on efficient processing of tax and other forms so that they can be sent out to the general public.
67. The inhalation of toxic substances produced by exhaust fumes may result in allergies and respiratory illness.
68. The announcement of a new rule banning the use of computer facilities for games caused some apprehension among the students.
69. The board of directors decided to use computer systems to automate the information resources of their company.
70. Office supplies are ordered weekly so as to make sure there are always adequate provisions in our offices.
71. A selection of fine wines will be served at the dinner tonight to celebrate the promotion of our new colleagues.
72. The manifesto will be printed next week in an attempt to reveal the company's plan for the future.
73. The town we are going to visit today is approximately 15 kilometers away from the downtown area of Seoul.
74. All citizens will be subject to the rules as set out in the new amendments to the Bill of Rights.
75. The contents of the UFO found in the Sahara Desert last month defy description.
76. The constant overproduction of toxic waste products accurately accounts for phenomena such as global warming.
77. The most important thing to bear in mind when running a large restaurant is customer satisfaction.
78. In spite of major changes in the political situation in most parts of Eastern Europe, there are still many problems that need to be overcome.
79. Precipitation of harmful substances into the atmosphere is causing the protective ozone layer to become depleted.
80. All members of the board are cordially invited to a banquet in honor of our new chairman and his contribution to the company.
81. I will scrutinize all the proposals made at the last council meeting before I make a final decision on the matter.
82. It is mandatory for all hikers to return the equipment after we return from the hiking trip.
83. Many rare animal species will face extinction if we do not address the problem of relentless poaching in national parks.
84. The new law will come into effect as soon as Congress has signed the amendments to the bill.
85. The police will make arrangements for all the suspects to be taken into custody before the trial begins.
86. Any unauthorized use of the computer facilities in this office will result in a fine or possibly imprisonment.
87. The staff at the health club had a huge party on Saturday night at the owner's expense.
88. It has come to my attention that a faction of our party is bent on creating disunity at this conference.
89. You will have to make a large deposit into your savings account to improve your credit record at this bank.
90. We will have to allocate the necessary resources towards this project to make sure that it is a resounding success.
91. I would like to consolidate this issue so that we can bring our present meeting to a close.
92. The management will accord sick leave to any employees who feel burnt out and are consequently unable to fulfill their normal duties.
93. All our clients will be presented with a highly informative booklet designed to bring attention to all the most important elements of our new program.
94. The goal of this meeting is to give a chance for all the citizens of the neighborhood to contribute to the present debate surrounding the upsurge of crime in our community.
95. The suggestion that the witness should be allowed to give evidence was favorably received by the presiding judge of the court.
96. The musical playing at the LG Art Center presently had such high attendance that they had to promise an extra show at the end of the season.
97. The charges brought before the court today are so serious that justice will have to be dealt out accordingly to the accused without any chance for appeal.
98. Mr. Lee was a very dedicated and talented member of the team because he always had good ideas and was willing to persevere even when times were rough.
99. The new concert hall has been specially designed to accommodate large parties of up to 500 people at a time for all kinds of events, including executive functions.
100. Please forward the application for employment to my senior manager as soon as possible so that we can come to a decision by next week.
Kim Dae-gyun's new TOEIC grammar. At this company, everyone over the age of 65 must take mandatory retirement, a regulation which some employees take issue with.
We have had to fire Ms. Jones as a result of serious concerns about her competence to handle highly sensitive classified material.
Near the end of April, Fogart Industries and Herald Enterprises announced that their planned merger will be postponed until next year.
After personally inspecting over 1,000 products and reporting the results to the local newspapers, Martha soon realized that her findings were in error.
The government has decided to develop the area into a national park, and many in the surrounding cities anticipate an increase in the number of tourists as a result.
Thousands of eyes besides mine were intent on the most prominent figure standing on the stage.
A great benefit of our internet banking service is that funds can be transferred instantly from one account to another with just the click of a mouse.
Some employees obtained the guidelines from the website, but others got it offline from the supervisor.
Although I was extremely angry at the airline for misplacing my bags for the second time in as many trips, I was grateful to the agent who located my missing luggage.
Any employee interested in participating in the annual company softball tournament should speak with Jim Jones of the organizing committee before the end of the week.
Reynolds Printing Company promises to give you the finished product within 3 days of your initial order.
The finance department has been asked to approve the purchase of 20 executive Aran chairs for senior management.
Having won a recent bid, Moyer's Sanitation will arrange waste disposal services for St. Lawrence Iron and Steel.
If you and your family are planning to drive through the Rocky Mountains this summer, please check the condition of your brakes and tires before leaving.
Before leaving for his vacation, the general manager mentioned to us that he had not completed the sales charts for the month, but that he would do so upon his return.
After 20 long years of stage performances, the singer realized that it was time to take a rest from it all and find a new occupation that would make her happy.
Many of the customers reported that the service of one particular waiter was very poor and that they would never come back to eat at the restaurant again.
One of the most important things to remember in delicate negotiations is to show respect for another opinion, even if you disagree with it.
With lower levels of important chemicals used in wood, scientists believe the strength of the timber will not be strong enough to use as building material.
Bill Parks is leaving immediately for Singapore to close a lucrative business deal that he has been working on diligently for the past 6 months.
This executive chair imported from Italy is made of the finest leather, has great back support, and has a lifetime warranty.
Tim thought he would never be able to work again, but advances in medicine have allowed him to return to his job on a part-time basis.
Despite the current fears of a recession in the industry, Raycon has announced plans to boost production in the coming year in anticipation of general improvement in business over the next 12 months.
Tires should be checked for leaks before one begins a long journey.
It is the responsibility of the postal worker to ensure that your package is checked for the adequate postage before being sent to its destination.
The law offices of Mackenzie & Phillips are located on the 4th floor of the Capitol Square building next to City Hall.
Employees are reminded that no documents should be taken off the premises and that all memos should be retained for future reference.
On the recommendation of my esteemed colleague, the Governor of Mississippi, I will be appointing Mr. Headley the new Chief of Internal Investigations.
The high cost of international telephone services has deterred most tourists and even business people from making overseas calls during peak hours.
The career counselor whom Miss Kang talked to was instrumental in helping her decide on a new occupation.
For many New York City residents, walking along the Hudson River is a favorite activity during the spring and summer.
Article 21 of the U.S. Code of Military Conduct, which was put into effect last September, prevents us from releasing the information requested.
Please enter your zip code below to find a store near you, and any applicable promotions in your area will be emailed to you instantly.
Nearly 30% of the milk cartons inspected by dairy officials at the warehouse were found to contain slight traces of uranium. The actual TOEIC test for parts 5 and 6.
(101) Customers are advised that the bank will be closed all day on Monday in observance of the national holiday.
102. The voting turnout for the local and national elections was extremely low, and all of the candidates stated how disappointed in the electorate they were.
103. The wise CEO must know what competitors are trying to accomplish, as well as his own goals.
104. Due to their volatile nature, these 5 are inherently risky investments, yet they seem to be the most promising.
105. By the time the company went into receivership because of corrupt business practices, the board of directors had been fired.
106. Most web-based companies provide enough information about their goods or services online so that customers can make informed choices about what to purchase.
107. City officials have just notified residents in the Denver area that toll collection has been automated on highways exiting the city.
108. Sales of the company's new line of industrial machinery increased by 80%, which was a considerable improvement over the previous year, when sales were up by just 12%.
109. Vacationers to this exotic tropical paradise can enjoy miles of unspoiled beaches and sunbathing beside a perfect turquoise sea.
110. Gently wrap the fragile package and affix the label correctly, then drop it in the mailbox or take it to the local post office.
111. The keyboard that he saw advertised in the newspaper last week was almost the same as the one that he had purchased for his wife a year before.
112. City property that had been set aside for the construction of several new casinos proved attractive to real estate investors.
113. That new sports car of hers was seized by the creditors immediately after the company declared bankruptcy.
114. All contestants must be at the hall at least 45 minutes before the show. Otherwise, they will not have enough time to prepare themselves and rehearse the opening sequence and program schedule.
115. The annual meeting held every Friday encourages employee participation by allowing staff members to express their opinions about issues that directly affect them in the workplace.
116. All items which have a total value of more than $10,000 according to the market price listed in the country of purchase are subject to a 10% duty charge.
117. After the Vice President expressed her views on the issue so forthrightly in an interview in Time magazine, her neutrality was called into doubt.
118. The local supermarket has recently arranged for its customers to have their groceries delivered to their homes within 48 hours.
119. Reconstruction of the building has been delayed, and it is anticipated that no work will resume until insurance claims have been settled.
120. Anyone who has ever used the Internet as a research tool would quickly realize what a rich source of information it is for any kind of material.
121. National Bank provides customers with a free international checking account service, and they can even arrange for direct bank-to-bank transfers between countries.
122. Thank you once again for helping my family and me move into our new home and get settled into the neighborhood.
123. After the meeting, the marketing manager raised questions regarding the most effective advertising methods by which to promote their new product line.
124. We regret to inform you that your package has not yet arrived at our warehouse, but that when it does, we will do our best to make sure it reaches your destination as promptly as possible.
125. The 2 new recording microphones introduced by Geotechnologies at the music show in Hamburg yesterday were developed concurrently, but independently of each other.
126. An impressive resume, good communication skills, and a positive attitude will greatly improve your chances of being hired by this company.
127. With the aim of satisfying disgruntled travelers, hotel management has decided to provide free shuttle bus services to all tour groups, effective immediately.
128. Unlike larger companies which have both the capital and manpower to invest in and develop new businesses, many small companies lack these resources and as a result are unable to grow as fast.
129. The CEO will have her assistant transcribe the minutes of the meeting as soon as she gets to the office.
130. Before ending their evening shifts at the department, all junior cashiers and salespeople need to sign out and initial their time cards.
131. Bill Benson, whose name has appeared in many food service magazines, will be the guest speaker at the International Chefs Conference this weekend.
132. Oil and gasoline being exported to countries such as Cuba and Iraq can only be shipped from designated ports located in the Middle East.
133. Corporate financing and new customer vehicle loans are legal provided they are performed by a registered dealership.
134. The Budget Committee firmly believes that the company can economize by leasing cars from the local dealership instead of buying them.
135. All staff members will do their best to assist with the project, as I think that teamwork is essential if we are going to make a great success of this new initiative.
136. However often public speakers may stand and deliver brilliant speeches to large audiences, they still feel a certain amount of stage fright before they have to do the job.
137. There has been an exceptionally sharp rise in the value of the Thai baht due to increased consumer spending and declining interest rates.
138. Since the large earthquake, which rocked this city last year, nothing has been done to try and develop better security measures and safety tests in case it happens again.
139. Several prizes were awarded to those students who came first place in a number of different events held at the annual school sports day last Sunday.
140. The probe, which will be shot into space by NASA on Wednesday, can provide information about the chemical composition of the atmosphere.
141. The furniture you ordered last week is ready for delivery. Please let us know when would be a convenient time to bring it to your office.
142. At the same time as holding down a part-time job as a waitress and struggling to look after 2 young children, Susan is studying to be an architect.
143. Just prior to the end of the fiscal year, net income stood at $180 billion, representing a 12% decrease on the previous year's figure.
144. Elena's efficiency and enthusiasm are going to be great assets to her in her new job as head of planning in our Cambodia office.
145. The rewards of becoming a first-class athlete far outweigh the pain of long hours of hard training and the other sacrifices that must be made in order to succeed.
146. According to agriculture experts, the United States will produce 10% more wheat than last year due to an improved strain of genetically modified seed.
147. The board will hold an extraordinary meeting next month to discuss some of the possible improvements that could be made in the firm's wholesale performance.
148. Since she was a young girl, Margaret has always nurtured the ambition of becoming the president of a large company and of having lots of people work for her.
149. After carefully reviewing the submissions, the judges were unanimous in their decision to award the grand prize to Robert Atkins for his collage entitled Money.
150. The candidate promised to lower taxes but failed to give an adequate explanation of how she would proceed to do so.
151. All new members of the group received a silver medal as a symbol of the achievements that they had recorded over the duration of the course.
152. Guests were reminded to register at the reception desk if they wish to attend the gala concert that would be held in the Grand Ballroom the following Friday evening.
153. It is very difficult, if not impossible, for mutual life insurance to distinguish its products from those of other companies, even though they hold a large share of the market.
154. In justifying his dissatisfaction with the management, Mr. Lim claimed that the housekeeper never came to his apartment and neglected to carry out all of her other duties.
155. After you complete an application for a home loan, you should then visit our Chief Loan Officer and ask him to conduct a personal credit check to ensure that you are eligible for financial assistance.
156. All applications for employee credit cards should be submitted to the Human Resources Department no later than the 5th of the month.
157. If one of the apartments becomes vacant before the end of next week, we will call you for an appointment to view it with one of our real estate agents.
158. After putting on over 10 pounds during his summer vacation, Mr. Carson felt it was time to join Kinglish Fitness Club.
159. As a result of increased acts of terrorism in Europe, airlines have requested personal information on certain individuals who will attend the upcoming Peace Summit in Hamburg.
160. Income statements are the most basic elements used by potential lenders, such as banks and investors, when deciding who qualifies for loans. 97 questions for Part 5. 101. The proposal to build a park in the middle of the city received unanimous approval from the board.
102. If any problem arises regarding a product purchased at Grant Department Store, please contact the service desk.
103. A copy of the agenda for Milton's annual conference will be sent electronically to attendees a week before the first day of the meeting.
104. The newest model of Kazoom running shoes will soon be on the market.
105. Checks should be deposited at the Citibank by 3 p.m. in order for the money to be made available the next day.
106. Because of his interest in commercials, Mr. Sun chose marketing as his occupation.
107. Many publishing companies reported lower revenues in the second half of the fiscal year.
108. Hewlett Farm transports their vegetables in special refrigerated trucks so that they do not deteriorate, which is the reason for their freshness.
109. Seminar evaluations should be filled out and submitted to one of the assistants before the end of the session.
110. Applications must be postmarked no later than June 6th.
111. For your convenience, room service can now be ordered through the computer in your room.
112. I have been unable to complete the series because some of the books have gone out of print.
113. The director spends considerable time discussing his ideas with staff members.
114. The construction project calls for several new positions.
115. The amount of commerce between the two nations has increased steadily in the last 5 years.
116. The union had already met with the management several times before the strike began.
117. It is illegal in most states to operate this machine without a valid license.
118. We apologize for any inconvenience you may experience during this time.
119. The causes of the sudden recession during the second half of last year are varied.
120. In case of an emergency evacuation of the factory floor, it is important to follow the person in front of you.
121. Return the completed form to the receptionist and have a seat in the lobby.
122. This merger is expected to bring stability and prosperity to both companies.
123. Any vehicle not bearing a diplomatic license plate will be barred from entering the premises.
124. For the company to succeed, all employees must do their utmost to make the best product possible.
125. The bill for the preservation of historic sites will probably pass if the President also gives it his approval.
126. If we keep to the schedule Ms. Lee worked out for us, we should have just enough time to visit the art museum.
127. Regardless of age, everyone will be given an opportunity to interview for the position.
128. Temperature can interfere with the machine, so please check the thermostat regularly.
129. Before handing out the verdict, the judge said that her decision had not been easy to make.
130. The catering crew should clear all dishes, cups, and utensils from the tables as soon as the banquet is over.
113. The price of your stay at the Royalty Hotel includes unlimited use of the Health and Recreation Center on the second floor.
132. Employees must notify their manager at least 3 days before taking days off.
133. Reynolds Advertising Agency employs 6 illustrators, all of whom are French.
134. The new schedule will be posted on the board and on the Internet as soon as it becomes available.
135. The board is discussing installing a computerized lock system so that employees won't have to rely on security guards to enter the building.
136. However often I speak in front of large audiences, I still find myself getting nervous before a speech.
137. The library will be closed on weekends and will be open for limited hours on weekdays during the holiday season.
138. If the subway system were expanded to include the suburbs, more people will use it to commute to work.
139. Private records cannot be obtained unless we have written authorization from the person.
140. The president of Warren Industries stated that people were the most important asset of his company.
141. For those who wish to meet the director, there will be a question and answer session after the play.
142. As part of a plan to build a franchise, Happy's Bar and Grill decided to acquire more property in the downtown district.
143. The company's annual meeting is only open to shareholders or their named representatives.
144. Because the French delegation will only be in town for a day, we must arrange a meeting with them as soon as we can.
145. Due to time constraints, the board was not able to review every submission as carefully as it would have liked.
146. Ms. Kensington has looked into the matter, and it turns out that you will be reimbursed for the net amount after all.
147. The International Pastry Festival will give visitors the chance to taste desserts from around the world.
148. Because the play is very popular, one must reserve tickets for weekend performances in advance.
149. The Hungry Man dinner special consists of 2 appetizers, steak, vegetables, and dessert.
150. Starting next week, 2 forms of identification will be required to sign up for membership.
151. Make sure that there's no mistake in the contract before obtaining the client's signature.
152. Because statistical figures of the research were hard to interpret, no definite conclusion was drawn.
153. The media reported that the expansion project was given unanimous approval by the City Council.
154. Call the following number for more details about our new product.
155. George McLaren, who founded the State Art Program, will be donating his priceless modern sculpture collection to the museum.
156. To show its appreciation, the charity organization held a small dinner for the volunteers.
157. Personal belongings left in the lobby will be taken to the security office on the second floor.
158. The following pamphlet has been provided to help patients feel less apprehensive about the medical procedure.
159. The terms of the agreement should be reviewed by both parties before they decide to sign.
160. The employee made persuasive arguments against the changes being considered by the firm.
161. Ready Electronics has doubled its production in the last 3 years.
162. The City Symphonic Orchestra has canceled its weekend concert, so we'll have to find something else to do.
163. The shipment will arrive within 2 weeks of the time it is ordered, or we will refund your payment in full.
164. Preparing for an important presentation, it is always a good idea to practice the speech numerous times in front of someone.
165. Never did Mr. Raymond's close relationship with some of his employees interfere with his ability to make difficult business decisions.
166. The recession has forced the government to create guidelines for fuel economy in vehicles.
167. I am calling to confirm that I will be attending the conference next month.
168. To avoid a late fee, books should be returned within 2 weeks of the time they are borrowed.
169. On domestic flights, the luggage allowance is 3 pieces, including 1 carry-on bag.
170. We thank you for your interest in our magazine.
171. The City Museum has the largest collection of 18th century European paintings and sculptures in Asia.
172. All requests for time off must be made in writing to the Director of the Personnel Department.
173. Staffing decisions for the planned branch office will be made after reviewing the report by the Personnel Department.
174. The airline reported that its modified flight route to Japan will save approximately 20 minutes of travel time.
175. Experts say that less competition in the microchip industry may result in a significant drop in the quality of the products.
176. A special spray was developed to make automobiles more resistant to corrosion.
177. Rothschild Enterprises was accused by civil groups of producing cigarette ads aimed at teenagers.
178. The product must have been purchased before May 2nd in order for the reimbursement to apply.
179. The environmentalists were relieved that the whale was able to survive on its own after being set free.
180. Of all the departments in the building, the research lab is the only area that restricts access to authorized personnel.
181. The objective of this survey is to find out how consumer interests have changed in the past year.
182. For 10 years, Dr. Rowland has studied the medicinal uses of plants native to the southern regions of the United States.
183. Patrons who are not satisfied with the service should tell the waiter immediately.
184. When sending your payment by mail, be sure to make all checks payable to Rogers Welding Incorporated.
185. While Susan prefers to handle her business by email, Lars would rather call and speak to someone directly.
186. Negotiations are being held to decide which country will be the next host of the international event.
187. The company had to increase production due to their new advertising campaign being so effective.
188. If employees feel that their efforts will not be rewarded, they are not likely to try their best.
189. The first draft should be handed to the editors 3 days in advance so that they can make the necessary revisions.
190. If your application to our school has been turned down, you may call this number for more information.
191. The tickets to the concert were on sale for not quite 3 hours before completely selling out.
192. The recent drop in computer sales is caused by the sudden increase in the price of software.
193. The environmental group spoke of the ecological effect the shopping center could have on the surrounding area.
194. More detailed information about the product can be found on our website.
195. Most electronic purchases are made on impulse, so it is important for the design to catch the customer's attention.
196. This image of the solar system is the first to be received from the satellite launched 2 days ago.
197. A meeting to resolve the conflict will be held at a time and place acceptable to both sides. 36 questions for Part 6.
141. If you have questions about installing your accounting software, call or email our customer service department.
142. To purchase a parking permit, fill out this application form and hand it to the receptionist on the first floor.
143. Many musicians who have performed at the Gray Note Jazz Club have gone on to highly successful recording careers.
144. We should be able to concentrate on improving employee productivity in the personnel department as soon as this matter is resolved.
145. Harold Miner collected a vast number of important European paintings that later were generously donated to the National Museum.
146. Due to the distraction it causes, the theater stopped letting audience members move to unoccupied seats after the play begins.
147. The sudden drop in the sales of microchips will affect the economies of many countries producing electronic goods.
148. Formex Industries has produced mobile phones since 1992 and is now considering expanding into other areas.
149. The Vice President does not agree with the company's decision to give raises to certain senior staff members rather than to all employees.
150. Teleconferencing has helped companies save money by reducing travel expenses.
151. The gallery will open a new painting show by French artists after the current show completes its run.
152. The directors and managers of the company have been discussing the possibility of upgrading the computer network system.
153. Ms. Shea is studying to become a financial consultant because she hopes to receive a high salary.
154. This report will hopefully help chemical-producing companies find better ways to discard their toxic wastes.
155. The advantage of cash machines is that service is not only available during normal banking hours, but also during holidays.
156. Due to the interest shown by students for the workshop beginning 2 weeks from now, a second class will be added soon.
157. The museum strives to present objects and images that reflect the city's diverse cultural history.
158. The payment of your credit card bill, which is now 3 months overdue, should be sent to us immediately.
159. As part of a series published by Highland Press, the book will attempt to teach children to be more creative.
160. Contrary to the expectations of many experts, the number of companies recording net profits rose significantly in the latter half of the year.
161. The President promised employees that the company would fully reimburse them for expenses incurred during their participation in the conference.
162. The program should be installed on your computer according to the instructions specified in the manual.
163. By utilizing new management techniques, the firm will be able to improve the overall efficiency and quality of the workplace.
164. In order to prevent overheating of the engine, the coolant should be mixed with an equal portion of water.
165. The company has decided to build a fitness center, complete with a swimming pool and exercise facilities, for employees and their families.
166. Thanks to another successful quarter, the company will be able to grant bonuses to all employees this holiday season.
167. Every measure possible will be taken to have your package delivered to you by the end of this week.
168. The company called to say that a replacement for the defective component will be delivered by tomorrow.
169. Many firms are upgrading their computer systems to handle more complicated tasks.
170. The recent issue of Business Monthly predicted that the digital camera will be the fastest growing segment of the electronic industry this year.
171. The room in which the meeting to discuss the new pay scale will be held is located on the 10th floor, across from the accounting department.
172. According to state law, written consent by the patient is required before a hospital is allowed to release medical records.
173. The company is able to recruit highly qualified individuals by offering better pay and benefits than most of its competitors.
174. The last time Mr. Harris went to Madrid to attend a conference, he was too busy to do any sightseeing.
175. The government's attempts at reducing inflation have not had much of an effect on the economy.
176. The judge overruled the lower court's decision that the defendant's prior criminal history be admissible in court.